This is the Hills Footy League Match of the Day.
Yes, it's a big good afternoon, everyone. Jeff Pistola and the Hills Footy Media team welcoming you for our final Sunday edition of the Quarter While for 2020. Coming to you from the rich agricultural basin of the Adelaide Hills as we're here at the Uraidla Oval for the Hills Football League Division 1 A grade first semi-final. It's the last roll of the dice for either Onka Valley or Blackwood here today. And once again, big thanks to our wonderful broadcast partners, Sports Interactive, Dartfish, Mortgage Choice, Jarrett, Nissan, Adelaide Star Buses, Business Plaza and Chris Shaw Accounting, who make our worldwide coverage on the stream possible. So thank you very much. Well, very much looking forward to this one. As I mentioned, the Valley Bulldogs and the Woodsmen will do battle to remain in the fight for the flag. And, well, the core of the Wild team are all ready to go. And, well, as usual, alongside me, the enlightened, spiritual Benny Goldford. G'day, Benny.
Pistols, perfect conditions here from Uraidla. I remember Andrew Bruce saying a couple of weeks ago, he said Uraidla Oval was looking absolute treat and deserving of a final. Well, we're here and... it is looking very
I can
nice.
actually tell you, Benny, apparently overnight they had 9 millimetres of rain, which has just sort of topped it up nicely, so to speak. Yep. Very lush and green and, yeah, looking good. And as
Absolute
we said, for our streamers on worldwide and not familiar with the area, Benny, as I said, the agricultural basin,
yes.
The home of the cabbage and lots of strawberries.
And it's all happening in the main street today. There's a bit of a fire going there. People are, is that the local Uraidla pub, hotel sort of going off?
It's closed for a lengthy period, of course, up and running now. So, yeah, and a nice little bakery next to it. So, even though I think there might be a distillery around the place here, Penny. So, as I said, a lot of people getting out and enjoying the sunshine. And we must say welcome to anyone listening over the border in Victoria. We know you're doing it tough, so hopefully you can settle in this afternoon in isolation and watch some good Hills football. As I said, we are in September. And that's when all the big boys come out to play, and this man is no exception to the rule. One of the astute coaches, knew what it was all about on the Eyre Peninsula, won a few flags over there, also spent time, obviously, with Ichunga, and also down at Sturt. And now, of course, school teacher, he's the master at the School of Rock. Great to have, as he does every time this year of the season's point, comes and joins us for obviously filling in this afternoon for Shane Collins, who is an apology down the road, the first meeting under his leadership for the Oakbank Racing Club. So Colo, hopefully there's a good crowd there today. I know he's got the big screen, but coming off the interchange and more than capable to fill the shoes of Shane Collins. Great to chat once again to Michael Borden. G'day, Boards.
Hello, Pistol. Hello, Benny. Thanks for having me. And as you've said, it's absolutely perfect here. There's nowhere you'd rather be than at Uraidla Oval, and looking forward to a really big clash between Onkas and Blackwood. I think it's going to be a fantastic game.
Absolutely, mate. And since we last seen you, as I mentioned, the School of Rock, of course, down there, you just want to impart on our listeners how that's all going? Yeah,
the School of Rock's going very nicely. We're still rocking, and you know, even in a pretty interesting year for
that Gilly Street.
That's Gilly Street Primary School. Yes. The kids are going beautifully there, and we've just finished off the school season yesterday as well, with all the school footy wrapping up.
Now, how did we go with that? Just tell us. You're involved with.
I'm involved with Pembroke School. We had a pretty tough season. We were back in Div 1 for the first time in quite a while, and we won a few games, but we're still a fair way off the big power schools like Saints and PAC and Ross Trevor and Sacred Heart. But the boys had a crack. But I'm sure your listeners don't want to be bored to tears with school footy. They want to be hearing about Hills footy in the big game this afternoon.
Yes, and we'll get to that in a minute, Michael, but just to bring people up to date, yesterday was the second semi-final day here in Division 1 comp at the Hills Football League, and, to say it was the upset of the season would be an understatement. Upset of the last couple of seasons, because Harndorf going in undefeated, in fact hadn't lost for the last 43 games. Well, miracles do happen, as they say. Loberthal 11-5 defeated Harndorf 9-9, so I think about 8-point margin there in the end to the mighty Tigers, who have progressed straight through to the big dance. And the minor premier in Hahndorf will play the winner of this game here this afternoon. And in the country division, preliminary final system that they're running, of course, one yesterday and another one today. Ironbank, the minor premier, undefeated. They retained that unblemished record. They had a very good win, 19-19, defeated the reigning premier in Gumaraka 6-4. So the Magpies bow out after winning the flag last year. So, yes, and as I said, well, today, first semi-final day here at Uraidla. Onka Valley, who lost last week to Lobethal, taking on Blackwood, who accounted for Mount Barker. And the preliminary final number 2 in country division, which is out at Birdwood Oval this afternoon, is Birdwood taking on Kangarilla. So we'll have updated scores from that. But I know you keep your interest in the Hills competition, board. So just your thoughts. It just shows that, well, miracles can happen, and perhaps it's not a one-horse race at this stage for the Division 1 flag.
Yeah, look, I think it's obviously great for the competition with Lobethal having that win. If I was Lobethal, though, you know, I'd be a little bit worried that they've probably woken Hahndorf up. And
the old poke the bear scenario, you suggest?
Yeah, I'd be expecting Hahndorf to roar back into it next week, and they'll really be on their game, you know, assuming, you know, they get through next week, which you'd expect they would. I think they'll be up and about for the grand final. But we obviously can't discount Onka Valley and Blackwood today. You know, they've been playing well. They've obviously performed well throughout the year, and today's going to be a big game for them as well. And whoever gets through this week will be backing themselves to hit the ground running against Hahndorf next week and try and double up.
Perhaps on another situation, though, Mike, the fact that Hahndorf been reigning for so long, they might have got into a situation they're not used to, trailing, etc. It actually kept scoreless yesterday for a quarter, which was the first time it's happened in a long time. But now Lobethal have actually beaten them. Perhaps they have the recipe to know, and it can only give them confidence, and they've got players to come back, quite capable players such as Alex Giorgio. So it could be a real confidence boost for the Tigers.
Oh, it sure could. It sure could. I mean, it means it makes the rest of the season very, very interesting.
And speaking of interesting, we've got an interesting reserves first semi-final here in place at the moment. And we're just, well, inside the last 3 minutes, and it's a ring-a-ding-ding. Onka Valley 6-8, lead Blackwood 6-7, so a 1 point ball game. No doubt Shane Collins will be vested interest in this as the consultancy man, Goldie.
Yes, most certainly, Pistols, and I should let people know where they can watch it today.
Absolutely.
Because I think Colo's going to be watching it. Hillsfooty.com is where you can get the YouTube feed as the Mullet Man is about to have a kick here.
Yeah, big Will Sculler Bear, yeah.
1 point the margin with 2 minutes left in the match. Gee whiz, this is a real cracker, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Hills Football League Facebook page is where the action is. So, yeah, look.
So
1 point the margin here.
Yeah, the Dogs have the ball on the wing here. They've gone backwards to go forward. This one's gone out by the Ferrari out in the full. So just trying to play possession football. As I said, we're inside the last 90 seconds. 1 point margin here at Onka Valley. We might stay with this game, just for those interests. A high kick towards half forward. Blackwood swelling around. Oh, there's a big, strong mark taken there. Could that be, well, they'll have to, he's outside of 50, the Blackwood player. Quickly moves it on towards the top of the square. They need a big junking mark here. Ball comes to ground. The Dogs' defence try to fill it out. Numbers at the ball, and they run it out towards the back pocket area. Clear it up the line. Needed a body over the top of a couple of woods. Desperate stuff out here inside the last 60 seconds. Blackwood attacking ball. It's our mullet man, Zach Zevenboom. Goes boom towards the top of the goals. Doesn't carry through in the forward pocket area close to the boundary line.
What happens if it's a draw?
Well, they play extra time. That's why they start a bit early, Goldie. They play 5 minutes each end, I think. So that could be a possibility as the time clock's gone bunter. Oh, it's actually counting down the mini seconds.
Are Blackwood going to try and punch this through? You'd be looking to come and just punch it through for a point.
Well, you would, yeah. He'll be a hero here. We'll give away a free kick.
Real bad.
Wow. Held up in there.
Come on, boundary umpire.
That was Nick Work trying to burst his way through there. Held up here, and they're just, because no time on. 24 seconds to go. The ball in the forward pocket, bit of push and shove. And the free kick, no. Right. Back to the umpire, so he balls
15
up.
seconds left.
This will be the last play of the game. Work knocks it down from Schillerbeer, goes to ground level. There's about 25 blokes over the ball. Try and make sure it does come out. Onka's with the ball. Free high kicks paid in the back pocket. So that'll be at 4 seconds to go. So Onka Valley, Shane Collins, if you're listening, you'll be happy. They will win 6-8. There it is to 6-7. So Michael Borden, a magnificent lead into the main game here this afternoon. 1 point win to the Dogs.
Yeah, what a fantastic game. Hopefully it's a bit of a preview to what we get this afternoon. A very tight game as well in our Div 1 first semi-final.
So bearing in mind, Goldie, last time we saw these two sides was back in round 7, and the Doggies come from the deaf at three-quarter time. It was Blackwood leading 10-10 to 7-3.
Yep.
The Doggies rattled home 6 goals to 2 in the final term, won by the goal, 13-10 to 12-10. So a good contest.
So I think Lockie Peter kicked 3 in that last quarter, didn't he? Pistol, something like that.
Yeah, but Blackwood
match,
and Joel Oates kicking 5 earlier in the piece. But Blackwood will be well and wary of that. They just seemed to fade, didn't they?
Interesting enough, Johnny Greenslade's name today. I thought he injured his hamstring in that first quarter.
I did hear he didn't do much training during the week. And we can report Nathan Cox has come into the Bulldogs side as well. And also DJ Lees, David Lees, who Colo interviewed yesterday. He wasn't sure what game he was going to be playing, whether the Magoos or the late one, where he's in the late one. And for Blackwood, from the side that we saw last week, have a very good win over Onka Valley. Mount Barker. Moses Milson has come into the side.
I'm going to head out in the middle.
And and Goldie will be heading out to just get all the action at the pre-match, the toss of the coin, etc. So, boards, quickly, as the Dogs are out on the track. Just your thoughts. I suppose we've got you on for the expert analysis, so tell us who's going to win.
Look, before I do that, I'd just like the listeners to know about Benny's haircut. It's just fantastic. He's got the stripe down the side. He's looking very, very sleek. And nice to see him rolling with some proper wheels this year, instead of those, whatever those things were he used to get around him.
Oh, the moccasins.
Those moccasins. There's obviously been some improvement in the dress standards in the commentary box, so it's very good to see.
And what are you looking from the stats boys today? Because, let's be honest, you talked them through some things last year to take them to another level. I think they've done it this year with the iPads and whatnot.
Look, I'm really looking for the stats boys to lift their game and be a lot more exciting than last year. There was some real sort of low-level, boring stuff that came out of their mouths quite too often last year. But I've heard they've been up and about, and I've heard they took the feedback on board.
Well, I'll tell you what, boards, it might be an opportune time for these boys to just have the right of reply as we bring in Jaden J. Hill and Indy Rogers for the first time this afternoon. G'day, boys.
Cheers, Pistols. Yeah, g'day, boys. Yeah, great to be here. Thanks for that, mate. But yeah, hopefully we can bring some more excitement to you. But yeah, looking forward to this game today, and obviously after Lobsell's great win yesterday, so hopefully it'll be a good game of footy. And obviously yesterday was the first loss for Handel since Anzac Day 2018. So hopefully this will be a good game of footy. Indy, welcome to you, mate.
Yeah, welcome guys. So once again, a beautiful weather day, and at the moment you've got to say, well, the challenge ahead for the winner of this game is still quite a big obstacle to overcome, but you have to give yourself a chance for that. I reckon Onkas, they had some promising signs last week, but we saw they were dominated for inside 50s in the contested marks. That was against Big Oz, who also dominated yesterday against Hahndorf. So at the moment, I think their big pack work just needs to lift up a little bit, and then Onkas will be back to their best. We know how dangerous their midfield is. I've been tracking Tim Webber all year, and I'm going to do that again today with the new panel I've got. I'm really impressed with this Onkas midfield, so I think they will deliver, but Blackwood will put up quite a big fight, particularly after the last encounter they had was only decided by 6 points. So really looking forward to it.
All right, well, we'll leave. Thanks, boys. We'll just give you a minute or so, boards, to assess who do you reckon will win. So we go out to Benny Goldfinch, who's made his way on the ground to give us an idea of the conditions and also the toss of the coin. So out to you, Goldie.
Yeah, Pistols, just out here in the middle of the Uraidla Oval. Absolutely perfect conditions here for this big first semi-final clash. As you said, last time they played, Onka Valley, 13 goals, 10. Defeated Blackwood, 12 goals, 10. At three-quarter time in that one, the Dogs were down 10-10 to 7-3 and stormed home in that last quarter. And that was a crucial match to give them that double chance. So they're going to have to make the most of it today. No second prize. It goes into the prelim against Hahndorf as Ben Jeffries coming in now with the coin toss. Umpire Dennis Raymond and Tim Napstein and Reese Williams will be doing the central umpiring today. Umpire Napstein shaking Ben Jeffries' hand. And coming in for Blackwood, we've got Ryan Dykesman, of course, the skipper for the Woods. So we're going to do the coin toss here, and we'll find out who wins. Umpire Napstein's about to toss the ball. The Woods going through their cross handball warm-up. Looks like Ryan Dykesman won the toss there, and he's going to kick towards the school end in this first term. Slight breeze, nothing really to peak of, maybe 1 to 2 goal breeze. So, yeah, big match-up today. The lads are going to track a few players today. We've got Joel Aish, obviously last week, kicked 6 goals for Blackwood. He's important, leading goal kicker this year in the Hills Football League. Ben McCready, also another player that the lads are going to track. And keen to see how Isaac McCormack goes. Obviously the son of Simon McCormack, absolutely tore it apart last week on the wing. Young player, named Pendles, obviously reminds us of Scott Pendlebury. And down the end we've got Lockie Peter. As we said last time they played, he kicked 4 goals. Second game back after doing the hamstring against Blackwood. So let's see how he goes today. And Tim Webber, obviously, in the midfield will be an important one as well. So there are a couple of players the lads, as I said, we're going to track today. So big match-up. Let's see how they go. As I said, last time it was a goal to difference, so hopefully we get a similar match today. Pistols.
G'day, this is Tony Modra, and there is always plenty of top marks with the coverage of Hills community football here on HFL Media.
Hi folks, it's Graham Corn speaking, and you're taking in the best of Adelaide Hills community footy right here on HFL Media.
Hillsfooty.com, proudly brought to you by Mortgage Choice Adelaide Hills, in association with HFL Media.
Yeah, it's great to have you on board, HFL Media. Second big Sunday game here, the first semi-final from Uraidla Oval, and also a special cheerio to the people at the Blackwood Football Club who were unable to get over here to Uraidla this afternoon. I believe also the Blair Hotel, so the Woods fans there waiting expectantly to watch their side in action against Onka Valley. Well, the moment of truth has arrived. Michael Borden, time to put your head on the block, mate. Just give us your selection here this afternoon.
Look, Pistols, I think, you know, I've heard that Johnny Greenslade was injured, but he's obviously out there playing. So I think Johnny's going to have a fair bit to do with how the game goes. Obviously, you know, Webber and Jeffries, they've got an outstanding on-ball unit for Onkas, but the boys from Blackwood, they've got a proven goal kicker up forward in Joel Aish, and they're going to have to keep him under control, or he will really take this game away from them, because it's a beautiful day. It's his kind of day to get out on the lead, take the ball and kick those goals that he does. So, you know, Dykesman is going to be very effective as well. So I'm expecting it to be a real good contest.
Okay, thank you very much to Michael Borden. So all readiness now. It'll be Daniel Shelb against the big man in Jan Warbett. So we're underway. First semi-final action. Trust you enjoy it. Shelb with the first tap of the game. Hacked forward there. Tucking the action already. Goes to ground for Blackwood. Manages to get his handball out towards Benson. Ball up the line taken by the Chipiana. Sam Chipiana quickly. And so the first inside 50 entry is for the Dogs. Blackwood defence already in the action. Fed out there by Baldacera out to Bricknell, who'll be important, and he's bundled over the line by Sinot. So perfect conditions.
Yeah,
here,
a few comments coming in here. Pistols. Jesse James says, go to Dogs. Jackson Thompson says, Jaden, the stat machine Hill, always elite. So there you go, Jaden. And we've got to love it for Indy as well. Casey Johnson says, go Blackwood. Matt Martin says, go to Mighty Woods. So yeah, a few comments coming in on the Hills Football League Facebook page and hillsfooty.com. So big match up today, Pistols.
Absolutely. So Academy boy to pitch the ball in on the pub with no beer, as we used to know it in the old days, but now the pub with a lot of beer flank. Ball flicked out here. Hopton's involved. Finally the ball comes out here, but in the meantime the umpire's picked out a free kick. It looks like it's going to go here to Webber. So Doc Webber, he's got a player on the lead up here, honours him into the cricket net
Tommy
pocket.
Mayo.
So
Good to see a bit of niggle out here too between Hopton and Fanning, really just starting to get stuck into each other in the middle of the ground. They've moved apart now, but I'm really hoping it blows up deluxe between those two big fellas. It'll be good to see in a first semi-final.
So Tommy Mayo,
kicked
right,
7 goals, Pistols, obviously against Mount Lofty.
Yep, 18 for the season. So difficult shot here, but what a good start it would be.
Oh, that's like Yenchi yesterday.
That is a perfect start. Absolutely. So umpire Alan Axford Ajax signalling that's a true blue shot. So a good start to the Dogs there. Boards.
Beautiful kick for goal, wasn't it? I mean, it was a very tight angle, and the goal umpire did not move. It's gone straight over his hat for a goal, and a great start for Onkas. I notice Johnny Greenslade looks like he's moving quite nicely as well.
Yep, that's good to see. That's good to see. Anton Heiser says, go to Dogs. So Bit of love here for both sides early in this one. Hillsfooty.com and the Facebook page as well, Hills Football League Facebook page. So umpire Napstein will throw the ball up with the Dogs first on the board through Tom Mayo, one of the real young guns in this competition. Here's a chance for Webber. Goes to the chip on that wing. It's a good start from the Dogs. Zach George Dent kicks it out towards the grandstand wing. And that's a good mark there out of side by Nathan Dunn. I think it is Pistols just in front of the Uraidla club room. So he'll go up the wing, past Blackwood's interchange bench. Crash packs, ball hits the deck. Here's a chance for Anderson, I think. Coming over, it's Webber. He's got the long sleeve Guernsey on today, Ryan Anderson. Umpire Napstein has called a free kick, and it's going to that man, Johnny Greenslade. Obviously, premiership player at Sturt Pistols, and good to see him back in the Hills Football League.
Absolutely. So out towards the wing area. Target out there was big Terrence Sleep. Ball come to the ground. Taken forward by Quasira towards the scoreboard pocket. Bouncing ball. Lurking was Mayo, the only goal kicker of the game so far, but ball taken over the line. So just over 3 minutes gone. The Dogs with an early goal. They lead. One straight, and of course the Woods yet to get on the board.
Isaac McCormack's got the Pat Cash headband on today, Pistols. Might have had it on last week as well.
Well, back in the old days, Bjorn Borg.
Bjorn Borg, yeah.
That's probably before you were born, Goldie. But anyway, ruck throw in. Ball locked out there. Bouncing ball. Dogs taking it forward. Quasira, I think, was involved there. In fact, speaking of tennis, I suppose Boards would have seen Lou Hode play back in the day there, Boards.
Probably one of the most boring games ever, Pistol. I would not bother to watch.
Not a tennis man.
No.
Ball comes out there through McCready for the Woods. Jacked in there a bit of candy work, get around an opponent. Finally, quick kicker. Goldie set up the pavilion side. Taken there by the coach in Anderson in the sleeves this afternoon. Puts it out wide. Here's a foot.
Here he is, Joel
There's
H.
H lumbering out.
Oh, hang on. He looks a bit proppy.
He
looks real
he has
proppy.
done something, and he's just his body. Keep a look
Well,
on
that
him.
calf is heavily strapped, isn't it?
But his body
he's done the
language
left
is not
hamstring.
good. There's a chance for Mayo, same similar position as he kicked the last one. Oh, he overran the ball. Good pressure from Baldassar. But this could be the tail of the game. He certainly did not look fit as he came out. And as Goldie said, the calf heavily strapped there.
And he's having a
But I think it's his, as Benny said, I think it's his left hamstring. You could tell he didn't want to bend over too far for that ball. And as soon as he started to bend over, he went for the hammy. I think he's struggling a bit.
good early signs here for the Dogs. They've had the majority of the play in their forward half of the ground. Blackwood under pressure here early. Tuck arches the back. He's looking for teammates. Dangerous. Baldessera fumble. Under pressure. Early pressure from the Dogs. Blackwood eventually clear the ball outside of the defensive 50. Anderson's the target, but there's 4 Onka's players crashing. Good early signs from the Dog. They got the ball across the half forward line. Here's a chance for Webber. Darting in and out. Gets onto the left boot. Kick forward. There's Carissa. Front and of the pack. He's got a player out here in the chip. He could go here and run on and kick a goal. He stops props and he'll have a shot for goal with McCready on the mark. Or he's got a player on here. Pistols in the forward pocket. And
yes,
that is
spots it up nicely.
the Bilby.
It's the Bilby. But that last passage of play, Baldessera took a pretty solid hit. He's still sucking in the big ones, I suggest, in the goal square. So feeling a little bit of pain at the moment. So the Bilby, Joe Bilby, 16 for the season. We'll have the shot from 40 metres, just drifting away offline, but some pretty positive attacking moves there early. Boards for the Doggies. They're 1-1. Woods yet to get on the board.
Yeah, and the Chip's playing a real traditional wingman's game out here, and they're going to need to keep an eye on him because he's keeping good space, and his movement lateral's excellent. He's been instrumental in, I think, 3 of their inside 50s so far.
So the defensive general Bricknell kicked it out down the centre of the ground. Here's McCready. Been good fine touch, puts it out here towards Pendles. McCormick takes a wing out here in the broadcast wing area. Chips up the line, searching for the coach. He looks like he's got rid of the sleeves.
Joel Aish has come off the ground.
So Ryan Anderson coached his first finals win last week, looking for a back-to-back today. Puts it up there, off the hands there of
good mark.
Touch
so
play
forward. Comes forward here. Bit of candy sold by Greenslade. Kyrus is up to big Terrence Sleep, puts up the Dukes and takes the mark right in front of commentary position. Just chips it over the top to Webber, who's run on the dock. Oh, cleverly gets the ball across to Chipiano, who's run on, who might get himself in trouble, gets a quick kick away and picks out a Blackwood opponent. I think that was Tuck who drives the ball back out here to McCormick on his own, who in turn goes, but meanwhile the whistle was
Behind the play,
so resultant free kick here. Timmy Napstein picking it up off the wing in advance of play, Goldie, not behind it, so comes up here to Anderson on the half-foot flank.
The sleeve jumper's off. Kick inside 50, but that's chopped out there by Zach Kuiper. I think it is. Kick towards centre half back. It's taken by Andy Vines. Oh, bit lackadaisy there, but he knew what he was doing because there's Carissa running for him on the outer side wing, on the clubroom wing. Umpire says play on.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's holding the ball. So free kick here for the Woods centre wing.
I think it might be Evan Johnson, the former Gippsland boy, with the tackle there. The call was pretty quick for play on, and he wrapped him up pretty quickly. He chips the ball up and finds it done towards the centre of the ground. He's got a loose man out here in Bricknell who's wandered up from that defensive spot. Will he sit for him? Yes, he does. Takes a mark right in front of Flynn, the cameraman here for Dartfish. In turn, he chips it up the line and finds Daniel Bennett.
So Bennett, as we said, Joel H off the ground with that hamstring issue. Kick inside 50, Phil Hopton, who have a big job to do without Aish at the moment. Hopton's fighting. Here's a chance for Cornish. He's set upon immediately by Ryan Anderson, who's doing it all early for the Woods, and it's held up left half forward line for Blackwood. And we've gone 8 minutes in the opening term. Onka Valley 1-1 through Tom Mayo. Blackwood yet to score.
Ball comes down at Hopton. Solid handball. First get me Vines. Tries to through his way through, but in the meantime, umpire has called a free kick, so it's come break fling. No, it's coming back here to Andy Vines. So Andy Vines been pretty useful throughout the final series so far for the Dogs. So the Dogs leading 1-1 to no score. So high kick. Ball fisted down. Benson grabs it. Quick hands out towards Bricknell. Intercepted though here by Sinnott. And finally the chip takes the ball just over the boundary line here. In front of a pretty good crowd here this afternoon, enjoying the sun here at Uraidla Oval. I said 9 millimetres of rain overnight, but the oval in perfect, pristine conditions as you'd suggest out here at Uraidla. So Academy boy tosses it in, taken by Shell, gets a clearing handball to no one in particular. First get to be McCormack, intercepted here by Webber, looks for support, gives the green side, has a bit of a fumble under pressure from Benson, but in the meantime umpire ruled that Benson infringed on Greenside, so the past Sturt Premiership player to take the free.
Goes to Webber, past Norwood Premiership player. And he's got another Premiership player out here in Ben Jeffrey. So Joffa could go for goal here, or he spots up a teammate inside 50 with a lovely pass, and that man is
Mayo, I think.
Mayo once again, or is it Lockie Peter? It's Tommy Mayo.
Yep.
He's looking good early, Boards.
Yeah, he is. He's leading beautiful, and wasn't that a fantastic bit of play by Onkas to transition it from one wing to the other and open up the lead on the bottom side by the scoreboard.
I don't know what happened to Joffa's man there, but he was around to far too much latitude and set up that pass, as we said. So, Tommy Mayo already with a goal on the board. Dearly going to have to get another one here towards the bowling club end. So, approach. Sets it on its way.
Just a beautiful kick in action.
He is. He's been to the academy. Shane Collins will be pretty happy about. So, Onka Valley 2-1, both through the agency of Mayo, leading Blackwood yet to score, and we've just come out the 10 minutes gone here in the first semi-final. Michael Borden.
Yeah, look, hasn't Mayo torn it apart in the first quarter? He's leading really well, and he's finishing it off. He's rewarding the hard work of his midfielders and kicking the goal. So a great start by him, and it's a very good contest. So both Blackwood and Onkas are really smashing in, and there's some good footy on display.
In the midfield, Greenslade. Looks like Dan Scholl's in the ruck. Got Lees, Vines.
Catfish is in there.
Catfish is in there. Meantime, here's a break from the guts. Matty Tuck, I should say, has a bounce, has a second bounce. He could go for goal here. He spots up a teammate inside 50. Hopton, good cop out there was Fanning. Greenslade got some good early touches. Chip could have caught one high there against Catford, and that's the way umpire Napstein sees it. So, Chip had an absolute ripper against Mount Lofty a couple of weeks ago. Pistols, 40-plus odd possessions on the wing, and he started quite well in this first semi-final.
Sinnott's a target out in front of the broadcast wing. Good defensive spoil by Bricknell. First to get there be done. High kick under pressure. Good mark day by Johnny Green.
No issues with the hamstring early.
No, over Catford. He puts it back out to Sinnott, who's sneaked along the boundary and has the ball, as I said, just in front of the Dreammaker broadcaster. He nurses the ball up close to the line.
Lockie Peter.
And Lockie Peter, probably his first touch of the afternoon, right in front of us. Could reach out and touch him. He nurses it up towards Webber, and the Doc takes a mark there. So Webber, so important for the Dogs. Puts it inside 50.
Off someone's head.
Off the ground, like Bennett's going to ground there, I think it was. And in opposition to the Bilby, so Daniel Bennett's. That's a 2017 Premiership player, spent last year over in York Peninsula, gets the ball across to Baldacera, who seems to recover from that knock, puts it up here, and a mark taken here by McCarthy.
Liam McCarthy passed, we won a couple of underage best and fairest in the Hills Football League, equivalent of the male medal at junior level. Taken out here. Just a reminder, Joel Aish is off the ground at the moment still, looks like, with an early hamstring issue. So Blackwood Ace has kicked 40 goals this season, so that's a big blow for them early. McCarthy takes the mark once again, centre wing. Bricknell's just striding past us on the wing. He's got a big job today. Important player last week in the win against Mount Barker. Scholl went up. Jan Warbit's around the action for Blackwood. And the umpire Napstein's free kick here to the Dogs. Lockie Peter got the handball from Jeffries. Go inside 50. Here's the dangerous Mayo. How's he going to work in this situation? He's against 2 Blackwood players. He does. Oh, he stripped of it there, and that's holding the ball. So Blackwood are away here, Pistols.
I think it was Dunn who let him know, still behind players. They bring the ball out wide out here. Here's that man Bricknell, as you said, snuck down. Finds a bit of space, goes towards the cricket pitch area, bouncing ball. Anderson showing a bit of pace. Also coming through for the Dogs. Good clearing handball, finds Greenslade under pressure. Did that go 10? It must have, as he found Webber. Webber moves onto the pocket where Bilby has snuck down unattended. So opportunity here for Bilby, as we said, kick 16 for the year so far to post a 3rd goal.
They're very wary of Mayo. There's about 3 Blackwood players just looking straight at him here.
Just means some other dogs are around the place loose. So Bilby has the shot. Just doesn't come across enough. So through for a minor score. So Onka Valley 2-2. Blackwood yet to get on the board, and we come up to 13.5 minutes gone. Michael Borden.
Yep, Pistol, I'd be really interested to see the inside 50s at the moment, because Onkas are having consistent deep entries, whereas Blackwood have maybe had a couple of shallow entries, but they haven't really challenged Onkas and gone deep to even look like scoring at the moment.
So Bricknell a bit of indecision here. Finally will go across to the other side pocket. Got a man out there, looks like it's Baldacera. Yes, it took that heavy knock early on, but thankfully for the Woods has recovered. They've already got one man in the wars in Joel Ashoff, their leading goal kicker. In fact, the competition's leading goal kicker. Puts the ball, it holds up. Looking in front with Shell. Ball comes down, a bit of pace around there from Hocking. Got across to Johnson. I think he's high kick towards half forward. Is an opportunity for Anderson, the coach.
You've got numbers here, the Dogs.
Jag Cornish is there. He goes to ground against Anderson. Here's a chance here. Dykesman, he's always dangerous. Gets the handball back out here towards Spawn. First time we've seen him this afternoon. Was he legged?
Oh,
no,
he's dragged it back in.
Yeah.
Oh, very lucky.
Umpire Raymond had a good look at that and decided to ball it up.
Yep, ball up. About 70 metres out from Blackwood's goal. As we said, Joel Leish off the grounds, kicked 40 goals this season. Looks like an early hamstring issue for him. Ball fumbles out. Here's Jeffries. Best player last week for the Dogs. Big Terry Sleep puts up the Dukes. Here's Greenslade. Went one way then the other. Chiseling pass inside 50. Gives Sinot a bit of an assignment. Coming away is Bricknell, and that's almost out in the full.
Yes, the Academy boy right, and well called, Benny Goldfitch, and well called by the Academy boy.
Sinot squares the ball. Pistols. Oh, it's chopped out here for Blackwood, who's certainly under pressure early. 15 minutes gone. 2-2. Onka Valley. Blackwood yet to score, and we'll go to the stats very shortly, I reckon, because that inside 50 count could be interesting.
Jimmy Hopton got it to Tuck, who's kick out wide. He is taken out there by, this could be Moses Milson, the boy who's come into the side this afternoon for Blackwood. Puts it up high back. Here's Dykesman waiting. He's crunned it beautifully. Has one bounce. Handball's over the top here to the run of a teammate. He's under pressure. Can he get his boot to it?
Spawn, isn't it?
Lurking his Spawn, yeah. Tries a dummy handball, gets around.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Finish, but well done by Ryan Dykesman. Michael Borden just behind the pack and just read it beautifully.
Yeah, that was really against the tide, and it's the first time that Blackwood have gone deep inside 50. Onkas just keep challenging the goals, but I've really liked the work of Tuck. I mean, he's trying to change the tide at the moment by taking the ball and running on and having some penetration with his kick. But you know, Jeffries coming off half back has been very hard to get past, and they didn't try to get past him that time. They went around him, and Dykesman set that up beautifully.
We might go quickly down to Jaden and Indy for the inside 50s that Michael Borden seeks.
Cheers, Pistol. So yeah, 7 inside 50s for Blackwood. Indy inside 50s for Onkas.
10 inside 50s for Onkas to be exact, but very good inside 50 entries to say the least.
So Napstein will throw the ball up here in the middle of the ground. Umpire Napstein. It'll be Dan Scholl versus Jan Warbit in ruck. So important goal there for the Woods just to settle him. McCready goes back to Tuck, who Boards was talking about, and he's set upon immediately in a tackle there by Lockie Peter, who still playing in attack but made an impact there in the middle of the ground. So Warbit against Scholl in ruck. Ball comes out to Lees. Oh, no, McCready coming through again. Handball out to Baldacera. High kick towards about centre forward. Hopton imparting himself. He's got to do that with Aish off the ground, and he'll kick inside 50.
So Hopton, that's when they need to stand up, take a few clunkers, goes out wide here, and finds Johnson, I think it is out there. on the far side flank.
Yep.
Of course, the boy from Gippsland, recruited this year, puts it up the top of the square. McCready's lurking. Good work there by Jeffries. Brings the ball to ground.
Oh, just got a
Scramble
toe
in the
poke.
goal square. Dykesman at the foot of the pack. Umpire right on the spot there was Reece Williams. And he'll ball it up. So dangerous territory here. Chance for back-to-back goals for Blackwood.
Hillsfooty.com and Hills Football League Facebook page. Get involved in the comments. Got a few coming in.
So ball comes down. Quick kick away. High kick was by George Dent. Over the top there was Johnson. Ball comes down. Trying to bullock his way through was Benson. Ball held up in the pack situation. Finally another high
Johnson.
kick by Johnson. Dogs camped underneath it. Bring the ball down. Caught there was Bell. He's dispossessed. Ball at ground level. And finally, once again, umpire Williams will come in. Still dangerous territory here, Goldie. Would be about 25 to 30 metres out from the primary end goal, which Blackwood are favouring this first term. Bit of a slight breeze out there. So, up high, doing the ruck work was Fanning. Ball comes down. Spinning out of trouble there was Jeffries with a handball. Got that to a teammate along the wing. And I finally get rid of it. It's Kusura up towards the big man, which is Shell. And the NASA man takes a mark.
Off he goes to Lockie Peter. Got some good early touches. He'll kick inside 50 to Mayo. What will he do here? One-on-one contest. Mayo holds his ground, putting a bit of pressure on the Blackwood opponent. Good, nice work there by Dunn, equally. And he'll have a kick here. Little toe poke. Blackwood have settled here. Benson, he's got a teammate out here on the half-back flank, and that's Scott Bricknell, pistols, and he'll look to kick it up the wing.
Good to see the football director working hard here this afternoon. Goalie right in front. Benny Kernich from the Woods Club. He gets the beam on the ball in the centre to Benson. Benson puts it up here, but it's all Dogs back there.
Jeffries.
And Joffa Jeffries, plenty of experience, puts it back up the wing towards the lead of Sinnott in front of Bricknell. So Riley Sinnott with the ball. True wing area here, outer wing area. At Uraidla Oval, little chip forward to Bilby. He coughs up when he does it, spills it. McCready at ground level. Here's River Moore going to ground. Underneath Bilby, who really coughed that up. So opportunity there going begging, but no harm done. So umpire Napstein to ball up Warbett and Terence Sleep. Warbett double hands it down to the run through of Tuck. Good handball out wide to McCready on the left. Chips it up the line. Oh, great work by Fanning at the last minute. Goldie just got the fist
and
there.
Jeffries there as well for support, I think.
So, so a bit of push and shove from Hopton, but great defensive work there.
So boundary throw in. Match is evened up here a little bit. 2-2 Onka Valley. 1 goal Blackwood. 20-minute mark. First term. Tuck slips a handball out, as Board said. He's been good early in the match for the Woods. Lees tries to get it out. Tuck again. Handball over the top. Here's a chance for the Woods. McCready, I think, was involved. Benson, snap around the corner from McCarthy into the forward pocket. Out towards the pocket area. Nice work here from McCormack. He's stripped of it in a tackle, and that's gone out of bounds forward pocket.
Yeah, very important touches there, as called by Michael Borden. Matty Tuck doing a good job around the packs. So, ball in forward pocket there, primary school win. Ball comes down, taken by Vines. I think tries to shrug himself clear to tackle Hopton of the Phil variety, but held in there. As we said, trust the crowd out at the Blackwood Football Club. Enjoying our coverage here as their side at the moment. 1 straight, trailing Onkas 2-2. Kick away by Webber for the Dogs, bouncing on the other wing. Ball to Sura. Grabbed the ball, but in the meantime he'd carved over the boundary line, so the Boundary Academy boy will come in and pitch the ball back into play as we're coming at 21 minutes gone. As I said, 2-2 Onkas play the Woods 1 straight. So throw in Warbett over the back here, taken by Vines. Warbett follows up with a good strong tackle, making sure the bun dog doesn't go anywhere. So umpire Dennis Rome will come in and once again and ball it up. Goldie.
Yep. Hillsfooty.com, Hills Football League Facebook page. Big Terry Sleep versus Warbett in ruck. Lees, well, he handballed it to Vines. It came off his bicep in the middle of the ground. Here's the chance for Johnson. Here's that man, Tuck. Oh, he tripped over the invisible man in the middle of the ground. Pops out of the cricket pitch area. Meantime, Scholl, big player, kick inside 50. There's a Blackwood player down behind.
That was Tuck, and Webber came in very strongly on him, and McCready came in for the evener up there, boards behind the play. So
Matt Tuck coming off the ground.
It's now actually Webber is down on his haunches, and that man Tuck is leaving the arena after having the suitcase knocked out of him, so to speak. So Bennett's with the resultant kick with a 25-metre penalty, puts it up forward. Coming out is Hopton. Fanning's the first to get there. He's looking for support. Oh, well stolen by Milson. Moses gets it back to the coach in there.
Oh, look at that shimmy.
He gets around. Shimmy work is called by Goldie. Centres it, but it's all Dogs back there.
Joffa.
As taken by Jeffries, gets a handball to the Bilby. Will he go back to Joffa? Yes, he does. No, he goes further afield. think it might
Kuiper.
be Kuiper there. Gets a long clearing kick out to DJ Lees. Spills the mark. Lurking is Johnson. Lee's working well at ground level, and finally the ball held in there. But
Any thoughts, Boards?
Yeah, well, Blackwood's got themselves right back into this. I mean, halfway through the quarter, it was all Onkas, but, you know, Blackwood are really pressing hard and getting repeat forward entries. So it'll be, you know, I'll be surprised if they're not going to kick another goal in the next minute or so.
I think since midway through the term, we've called those early 2 goals to the Dogs, but I think Woods will go to the boys at quarter time. I think they've had the majority of forward 50s in the second half of this term. As ball through there, finally swept out by Lees, finds a teammate in Bilby. He'll kick out into the vacant wing area. Here's a foot race to Chip versus Milson, I think it is, close to the line right in front of us.
Whoa, watch out.
That's a good strong tackle as he nearly slid into the special effects, Mike, and Michael Borden nearly got a possession there as the academy boy right in front of us will pitch the ball in. So Ruckman Gabba, Terrence Sleep for the Doggies versus Big Yarn Warbett. So ball pitched in. Oh, that's an interesting one. I hope friend the cameraman got that one. That might be on the bloopers reel for the academy boy.
Maybe he's feeling the pinch of...
yeah, the finals tension here. So
that's
a better pitch by the young man. Warbett got it down to Catford, tried to shrug himself away. A bit of Zach Zevenboom mullet look by Catford. Finally, the ball comes out into Peter. High kick forward for the Dogs. Brecknell back there. Sinnock got his hands to it. Well done by Hop. Then got it out the back door to River Moore, who'll go across to Johnson in the corridor, who in turn's got the run out there of... a teammate in Bennett's, I think it is. He nurses it up the pavilion side. Good use of the body there. I think that was McCarthy.
Yep.
Here's a run on from Johnson. Now they're in the forward 50 yet again. Oh, good defensive work by the Dogs. Spoilt the ball, trying to spin his way clear. There was he grabbed. Was the Blackwood player in Spawn. In fact, I think he's drawn a free kick there, Goldie. Respawn.
Yep.
Is it Spawn? No tattoos. So wait and see who this is. It is Jimmy Catford.
So Catford will go back here after the free kick's got the mullet. What are your thoughts on the mullet, Boards? Because they seem to be coming back this year.
Yeah, look, I think they're getting better. There were some really ugly mullets getting around last year, but I think the mullets are improving, Benny, or maybe we're just getting used to them again.
So Catford, 4 goals for the season so far. Of course, talented musician puts it on top of the square. Big leap there. Jeffries gathers the ball deep in the back pocket and is just happy to walk over the line, concede the point. They would have been pretty well in fashion on the West Coast back in your day there, Boards, the mullet.
Yeah, there were plenty of mullets back then. There weren't many top knots or man buns, but there were certainly plenty of mullets.
Greenslade takes possession, kicks out to the Chip, and that's quarter time here. And an entertaining game of football so far. Blackwood 1 goal. Just reminded Joel Aish still off the ground. He's in the dugout there, just making his way out of the dugout at the moment. He's got the real limp up. It looks like the great man Michael Aish is just standing next to him.
Well, I'll tell you what, I did actually run into Michael Aish down at the parade on Friday night, Rowdy, and had a bit of a chat to him. I said, your boys going well? And he said, yeah, he's keen for Sunday.
Doesn't look good at all, does it, Boards? You're seeing, yeah, he's got the real limp up there.
Yeah, look, just the way he responded after trying to pick that ball up off the ground.
Body language wasn't good, was it, Boards?
No, it looked like he tried to raise a gallop, and then from a distance it looked like he knew that he was stuffed. So I'd be very surprised if he's able to come back onto the ground and have any impact, because he had, I think the right calf was strapped right up, but the left hamstring certainly had some type of bandage on it as well. So he may have come into the game under a bit of a cloud, but like I said, be very surprised if he comes back on.
Okay, quarter time here on the Quarter Wild first semi-final. It's Onka Valley 2-2, leading Blackwood 1-1 on the scoreboard. But to find out who's leading with the stats that matter, Jaden and Indy.
Thanks, Pistol. So, yeah, 44 kicks, 20 handballs and 28 tackles for Blackwood. Like Board said, in the first half of that quarter, they just couldn't get their running game, kicking game going, unfortunately. For a team that averages 4 goals in the first quarter, that was really below par with only a score of 1 goal, 1-7. But they did improve in that quarter, and they had 14 inside 50s, but only 1 mark inside 50. So hopefully they can improve those conversions inside 50. Indy, for Onkas, mate?
The exact same amount of kicks and handballs for Onkas, 44 kicks, 20 handballs. I was also very impressed with their repeat inside 50s, at least early on. It did drop off a bit in the red time of that quarter, but nailing down the basic stats, 24 marks is very good. They've got that aerial football nailed down. Webber's already got 10 disposals, which is nice to see. And of course, their contested marking ability, their marks inside 50 have also improved from particularly last week when they fell short in that stat against Lobethal. So it's a promising start for Onka so far, and that's all I can really leave it at. We'll have to see how the game progresses if they can hold it up.
Good on you, boys. And just quickly for his thoughts on entertaining first quarter, Michael Borden.
Yes, it was very entertaining, Pistol. It's interesting that the teams have got exactly the same stats. And as we discussed earlier, Onkas were certainly right on top early, and I thought they were using their short kick to, to paint the fence and come around the boundary quite well, and then open up laterally and attack from the other side of the ground. And their full forward certainly led very well. I noticed that Blackwood, I think, dropped at least one, maybe two back behind the ball to make sure that he couldn't lead and to put some pressure on. And then Onkas were rebounding very well through Jeffries and Kuiper. I think Blackwood smartened up a bit, and instead of trying to bomb it long and have Jeffries mop everything up, they went round the outside. They shortened up their kicking game, and they made sure they didn't have to go through those main two defenders, and they certainly looked a lot more dangerous after that.
Good on your boards. Sitting in our special comments chair this afternoon in place of Shane Collins, who's down the road working at the Oakbank Racing Club. Of course, their Sunday meeting, and trust anyone watching down there is enjoying our coverage. As we go around the grounds, quarter time, boys, in the country division, preliminary final 2. And Kangaroo apparently dominating play in the first term, but the score at quarter time, Kangaroo 6 points, lead Birdwood 1 point, Goldie. So interesting out there. Because Birdwood playing the home final at the Velodrome.
Yeah, the conditions would be lovely out there.
Absolutely. Speaking of conditions, they just told me 14 degrees here, boys, at Uraidla Oval. The sun's out, shining, and very nice, lovely setting here, Goldie.
Yeah, perfect. You enjoying yourself out there, boards, in the sun?
Yeah, Benny, it's great. And just, I'm wondering, when you're out in the middle of the ground early, which end of the ground was the breeze favouring?
Primary school.
Okay, because I've got a feeling that it's changed. I reckon Blackwood are going to be kicking with the wind this quarter.
Well, looking at the budget here, it's just blowing towards that way.
That's good pick-up, boards. Great pick-up.
Isn't it great to have a astute comments man and a bloke who doesn't wind about the climate? No. Good work, boards.
Yeah, well, I can certainly feel it out here because you two obviously won't let me sit in the commentary box, so I can feel the weather. But on a beautiful day like today, it's very pleasant sitting outside at Uraidla.
It's not bad, Goldie. It's Johnny come latelys, and he wants all the cons and the benefits of being a member of the team.
Mr. September.
That's right, Mr. September. Nah, I'd love to have you aboard, Michael Borden, astute as always. So. Just waiting here for the start of the second term. Hills Football League Division 1 first semi-final from Uraidla Oval. 2-2 Onka Valley Doggies leading Blackwood 1-1.
He went forward in that first term. Isaac McCormack's gone to full forward.
Okay, so umpire Williams sets it up. It'd be Sheldon Nasserman versus Warbert. Warbert got the tap. Toe poke forward here, taken by Spawn. He's taken down the tackle there by his opponent. Yeah, it looks like it was George Dent, so umpire will come in and once again ball it up. So, ball up. As said, lovely sunshine here this afternoon. Ball comes out, actually bounced off Shell's head. Goes back down to big man at ground level, tried to get it out once again. In under the pack situation. Corsair in there. Also looks like Catford, I think it is. Down on his haunches, so we'll have another ball up. Sorry, it was McCready. So, ball up once again, number 3 for the term. We're only 38 seconds in. Ball comes out here. George Dent hacks one out of the pack. High kick out towards the wing area, bouncing ball. Grabbed his ball to Cyril, go backwards to Bricknell in support. Bricknell in turn gets it out wide here to Johnson. Johnson sells a bit of candy as he gets around, then goes back to a teammate here in Moore. Under pressure, gets a kick up the line. Ball to Cyril, great pick up as he's half volleyed that. Goes inside 50. Lurking there's McCormack, got his hands to it. Taken out here, Hopton managed to get a handball back out towards McCoy. Ball out here to McCready, lurking, ever danger. Steadies the handball, got it back to Hopton. Finally gets back here to Spawn round the corner towards the bowling club end. Floating across and relief from Mark taken there for the Dogs deep in defence.
Good pressure from the Dogs defence there. Blackwood were on, but Onka's managed to stop that. So, kick towards the half-back flank. Lovely mark there by Big Dan Shaw. He's got a big job today against Big Yarn Warbert in ruck when he goes in there. Kick up the line. Here we go. Big Terry Sleep versus Bennett and Bricknell. And Big Terry's happy to see that one go out of bounds. So we'll reload just near us in the broadcasting van. Let's see how the boundary umpire goes this time. He's
Hopefully got the grip on at quarter time, Goldie, on the hands maybe.
boundary throw in. That's better. We like that.
Yeah, good work.
Warbett versus Show in ruck. Warbett won it down. McCready got it from Benson. He went to Tuck, went to Johnson. Moving the ball backward. Baldessera gets on the end of it. A lot of handballs here. Eventually we move a little bit further up the ground. Fanning fists it, brings it to ground level. Spawn set upon immediately by Webber. Fanning, nice little fist on there to the chip, and we're held up just where we were a couple of seconds ago.
I'll tell you what, Michael Borden, tough in the trenches out there as you'd expect in a knockout final, literally.
Oh, it's a fierce opening. The first 2 minutes of the second quarter, both sides are really getting stuck into it. It's great to see.
So Warbett playing the ball down. Greenside got involved. Also Chipiano, who's taken down the good tackle by Evan Johnson, the boy from Sale City. And no chance to get rid of it. So umpire Williams will come in and ball up right down the barrel here of Flynn, the cameraman, the Dartfish boy. So ruck duel won by Shell, flicked it over the back, taken by Spawn. Only as far as Greenslade. Quick kick away by the former Sturt Premiership boy. Bouncing ball. Bricknell comes storming out. Takes the ball. He's under pressure from Peter. Cleverly got it to Bennett. It's close to Benron. Comes to Benson. Has a bit of a fumble. Good enough to recover and got it to the run of Bricknell. Goes inside the 50 towards centre half forward. Big leap by Fanning. Got his hand to it. Ball deflects out into George Dent. He's under siege there from Dykesman.
That's
Ball's
fierce.
Cuffed up.
That's fierce.
Taken in. Run by Anderson. He'll go over the top to McCormack. And Pendles goes bang. Thank you very much.
Lovely work there, Woods, and Blackwood have certainly settled in the last, say, 20-odd minutes of play.
Nice footy and great run off half back there by Bricknell. He really timed his run well, was going flat out, delivered it deep inside 50, and Blackwood finished off the work. But just a fierce opening, and I'm really liking the contest between the big fellas in the middle. I mean, Shell and Warbett are really going hard at it. I think they're probably sharing the honours at the moment, and really good to see two big fellas.
Actually, Boyd's just out in front of you. Bricknell showing the effects there, whether it was a hard run or the knock he took.
Yeah, I reckon he might have got a knock after he got rid of the ball, but hopefully he's just winded and he can get back up and have another crack.
Just a few comments here as we start again. Greenslade gets a handball out to Webber. Premiership player goes to a Premiership player. Sturt player to a Norwood player. Both at the Dogs now. Andy Vines takes the mark, centre forward. Kick inside 50. 2-on-2 contest at the back of the bus. Terry kicks it into Uraidla Primary School, and there's the immediate answer as Scott Bricknell's in the hands of the trainers here on centre wing, just sucking in the big ones.
What, also Bennett's down there. Is it disappointment? Oh, he's been helped to his feet now. Well, I tell you what, he's in a little bit of trouble too, Daniel Bennett. So they're two key defenders at the moment.
Of course, Joel Aish off the ground early in the match. Just a few comments coming in here. Henry Pope is enjoying the performance of Tom Mayo. Katie Collins says, go to Dogs. Craig Massner says, go to Doggies. And Robin Norton also says, come on the Doggies. That's, or Onkas, that's all on the Hills Football League Facebook page.
Bricknell off.
Scotty Bricknell coming off the ground.
Yeah, so the two of the key men for the season and the key defender in Bricknell and the leading goal kicker in the bookends in the Aish is off. So, yeah, a bit of trouble here at the moment for the coaching staff, that's for sure. But the action back in the centre with umpire Napstein who'll set it up. It'll be Shell up against Shell to Leaper against Warbett. Oh, that follows up well, the big man. Wants to be the next Andy Thomas astronaut.
Yeah.
Puts the ball high. Oh, good defensive work there. Brings the ball to ground. First to get there for the Dogs was Tommy Prosser, the youngster.
Fierce tackle.
Ball locked in there as called.
It's his on.
Yeah,
a little bit of push and shove.
Pardons there. Johnson coming in there, and but looks like it's sorted itself out. So ball up. Sleep got the chat down. Good ground level work.
That's holding the nut.
Terrence, yeah, holding the nut. So no,
that is holding the nut.
You think so? In the meantime, Webber's got out the Chipiana across the boundary line on the left, puts towards the forward pocket area. McCready in the box seat, got his hands to it. Follows up at ground level. Can he hold it in? Yes. Tough in the trenches as called by Michael Borden. So another ball up will take place as we're playing up the 6-minute mark. It is the Doggies 3-2 leading Blackwood 2-1. Trust you enjoying our coverage on Call of the Wild.
Benson goes to Johnson for Blackwood. Centre wing, Scholl backing back. Lovely overhead mark. He's got some talent, this guy. Good to see him playing a consistent season after a few injuries last year. Kick towards the centre forwards, chopped out there by Catford against Jeffries. Opens up for McCready. Good effort, second effort by Jeffries. It's in the middle of the ground. Hopton, centre forward. He's meted it into the mullet man, Catford. Dribbly kick towards centre forward. Fisted forward there by Kuiper and Dykesman. Ball comes out. Here's the Dogs on the counter-attack through Carissa. Works it up the line. Tried to get it to Bilby. Coming through was McCready. Handball over the top to Sinop. Back to Carissa. He kicks it inside 50. One-on-one Mayo. Usually good in these situations. Handballs nicely. Here's an opening for the Dogs. Bilby will get the ball from slow. Oh, no, he tripped over it. Oh, Mayo, what's he going to do? He's going to go. There we go. Goodness gracious.
That would be the most difficult goal we've seen this season, Michael Ford.
Well, I think he fell over the invisible man.
I tell you, the pitch man has moved up the field. Bilby just... But in the end, Mayo raises his third of the game and the fourth for the Doggies. Comedy of errors, but they got the deserved result at the 7-minute mark. So they go to 4-2 to 2-1, just double the score here. So, wow, and we'll call Goldie a pretty frantic passage of play there.
Toby Paddy just said, love to see a bit more out of young Mayo. Well, he's just kicked the last goal of the match. And,
well, he's only kicked 3 out of 4, so what more can you do, Toby? You're a hard judge, but we'll send it out to him. Put in. So back in the centre, umpire Raymond. So the Dogs counting that first goal to turn by the Woods. Warbert camped under it. Run down here by Tuck. Nearly tripped
he almost
over
tripped
himself.
over the man again.
Yeah, he's busy, that man. Tips up the line. Dykesman sliding. Dispossessed taken here by Kuiper. Here's McCready. Got the, sorry, it was Catford. Got it to the run of Johnson. And the boy from Sale City gets the copper up. And a great and a very quick reply to Blackwood. They're 3-1 to 4-2. Michael Borden.
Yeah, some really good footy coming out of the centre from both teams. I mean, there's been a quick response from Onkas when they just dragged one out of the middle and kicked a goal, and that was fantastic work by Blackwood. A nice little over the head handball into the forward pocket, and a great finish there by Johnson, I think it was.
Yep,
so some good footy to watch at the moment. I'm just watching these big guys in the middle. I just think Shell's starting to get on top. He's starting to jump over the top of Warbert, but be interesting to see how that plays out until half-time.
So back in the centre, umpire pitches it up. Taken by Tuck, who after that trip off the field, boys, he's come back. He's got a bandage around the knee area, the top of the calf area, but thankfully he's back doing what he did so well early in the game. Comes out, Warbert just hacked it out of the ruck contest and boots it forward. Ball comes to the ground. Hopton, snooked by Ryan Anderson, the coach. Just can't get it through. There's a dog defender there, crashing by the point post. Getting up a bit gingerly, but after all that, a minor score to Blackwood. Yep. They've moved on 3-2, one straight goal to difference as Onka Valley lead 4-2, 9 minutes gone, second term, first semi-final action on Calderwell.
Joffa Jeffries kicks it out towards the interchange bank, so it's nicely picked up there for the Woods. They're on the counter-attack here. Snap round the corner, and that's a goal. Oh. Well, there you go. And that's,
was it Hocking?
Troy Hocking has nailed the goal for Blackwood. And look, Bricknell's off the ground, Joel Aisha's off the ground, but Blackwood boards are doing well here. Scores a level.
Yeah, beautiful goal. And what I noticed from Warbert there, I just mentioned that Shell was starting to jump over the top of him. Warbert moved his big, strong body around and moved Shell out the way. He got first hands on the ball and put Blackwood forward. So, you know, some real thinking from the big fella there to set his team up to go inside 50.
G'day, this is Tony Modra, and there is always plenty of top marks with the coverage of Hills community football here on HFL Media.
Yeah, indeed on HFL Media, and a ring-a-ding game here. So can't get much closer, 4-2 apiece, 10 minutes gone. Second term knockout semi-final here from Uraidla Oval. Trust you're enjoying our worldwide stream.
How have you seen the umpiring boards?
The umpiring's been outstanding. And no surprise with young Denzo Raymond in charge in the middle at the moment, but I've been really impressed with the umpiring, Benny.
Good work there off the ball by Benson. He was infringed the Guernsey tag when he didn't have possession, so he'll take the resultant kick for Blackwood cricket pitch area. So Daniel Benson had a pretty good and impressive final series so far. Hard nose, as always. Goes forward, half-forward flank area. Hopton lumbers out. A good defensive mark taken there by Kuiper. Very good contested pack marks.
Well, last year is his first year of senior football, and he's held his spot in that young defensive line for the
Warbert just toe poked that forward. Following up, the defence puts it up, and right in front of us is Timmy Webber. The dock goes across the lines. That's a dangerous kick. It's a flying over the top of McCormick. Bouncing ball stayed by Clarissa.
Off he goes.
Has one bounce and kicks inside 50.
Mayo.
Coming out is the Bilby.
Wow.
The Bilby's brought to ground. Blackwood defence under trouble here.
That's a left coccyx.
Ball field out here. Good work at ground level by Sinnott. Can he hold the ball in? Dunn crashes over the top. Finally it comes back out to Bilby, who hit the deck. He toe pokes it forward. Only as far as Spawn. He's got a touch of the fumbles. Finally gathers it last line defence. Draws an opponent. Gets across the ball to Sirra for the Woods. And he nurses one up the line, looking up there, and finds Liam McCarthy.
Yeah, it's a good game of football. Scores are level, 12-minute mark. First semi-final, knockout semi-final. Perfect conditions. Winner goes into the prelim to play Harndorf. Dan Scholl takes the mark, centre wing. So the Dogs kick inside 50 from Scholl. Few Woods players pushing back here into the defensive line. Ball hits the deck, dangerous position. Johnson just managed to get a handball away. Mayo sets upon his opponent and holds the ball up edge of the goal square.
Certainly hot in the kitchen there. 12 minutes gone. I said 4-2 apiece here. Called to Wild Hills Football League Division 1 first semi-final. Sleep with the bodywork, got it down. Catford quickly got to Benson. He's got space as he goes long out towards the half-back flank area. Target out there is Pendle's McCormick, and it's bounced over the line right in front of the Blackwood coaching box. And of course, two of their stars will Joel Ace over there. So they're without their leading goal kicker. So the academy boy will pitch the ball in just along from the Ferrari grandstand. High pitch. Scholl versus Warbett. Over the back, stolen by a Greenslade. Chips it in.
Oh, God. Big crash there.
Yeah, ball ricochets out here. Baldacira, was he obstructed? Oh, putting his head over the ball and nearly taken off. Yes, too high. Baldacira, I thought it might have gone to Spawn, but anyway, it's a Woods free kick. Deep in defence to Jack Baldacira.
Baldacira kicks the ball out towards the Woods interchange bench. There's that man, Tuck. Takes the mark. He goes a little short pass over the top. He's got Spawn running for him. He's waiting for the ball to come to him. He kicks a short pass to a teammate there in Hocking, I think it is. Handball over the top. Can't quite see, but big Herbie's in the way. Here's a chance for Johnson. Has a flying shot for goal, and the Woods are in front. 5-2. I think they've kicked last 3 goals of the match. Is that right? Onka's 4-2. 14-minute mark, second term, first semi-final.
Second goal of the term for Johnson, just that run and the ability to finish, Boards.
Yeah, the run, they've just taken that from coast to coast. They dragged it out of the back pocket and they just kept running, and some nice precision with their short kick, and then a beautiful kick for goal to finish it off. Great footy by Blackwood.
Couple of comments coming in. Wayne Jones, come on the Woodies. Craig Stratfold says go the Woods, so a few more comments here.
Former president of the league, of course.
Yep.
Great.
Hills Football League Facebook page, hillsfooty.com. Get involved. Joel Ace is off the ground. Is Bricknell back on pistols? There he is.
Yep.
Bricknell's back on the ground, so that's good.
That is a good sign. So Shell gets a tap down to Webber. He run into Webber brick wall. Finally comes back here to the Dogs. They clear it forward. Here is that man, Bricknell. He's got support there from Spawn. Bricknell grabs the ball. Handballs back here to Baldacira. Under pressure, he gets a kick away. Camping himself back there as Fanning. Oh, good work by Hopton. Brought the ball to ground. Catford's looming. Oh, Chip spins out of trouble. Tried to get the corner. She intercepted well by Anderson. He kicks around the line towards the forward pocket. Area bouncing ball. Kuiper got his hands to it and deflects it over the boundary line. So quick movement from both ends of the ground here, Goldie. Great game of football to watch, and trust you're enjoying our coverage.
Hillsfooty.com, Hills Football League Facebook page. Get involved. We've got the comments coming in here. Evan Johnson is up and about, says Casey Johnson. So maybe a relative there. Ball inside 50 for the Woods once again. We'll go to the lads for some stats that matter, as we've got a stoppage inside 50 for Blackwood.
Cheers, Goldie. So, 27 kicks, 29 handballs for Blackwood as well. Their efficiency inside 50, they've had 5 inside 50s for 5 scoring shots. So, there you go, boys.
We'll come back to you, boys, as McCarthy's had a shot, but true for a minor score. Down to you, Indy.
Yeah, just wanted to quickly touch on somewhat underwhelming ball use from Onkas in this quarter. 20 kicks, 15 handballs. Compared to their opening quarter, they were very active and almost enthusiastic with their ball use. They kicked long down the corridor. I just haven't seen that play too much in this term so far. So the kick out found Webber. He knows up.
Oh,
dangerous. Jag Cornish was the intended. Oh, it goes to Chipiano, and that's a bit of a comedy of errors there, Boards, for the doggies. And, well, luckily they didn't pay for it.
Yeah, it wasn't the best piece of footy we've seen all day, but it's been a fantastic match so far.
Got low battery.
All right, ball held in there. McCready and also Cornish at ground level. Hopton also over the top. So we will see a ball up. So great game of footy is called by Michael Borden. Blackwood 5-3 noses in front of Onka Valley 4-2. Trying to take it through was Peter. Ball taken there by Webber. Got to run a Matty Dean. Nurses the ball towards half forward. Great defensive work by Dunn for the Woods. Ricocheted there. Ball comes back. Held in there. Looks like it might be a Mayo. So once again, another ball up will result. Warbett was the tackle there. The big man just pinning him. So Ruckdale Warbett does it down here. Comes down. Quick handball out by Vines. Bit of volleyball action comes out the Chipiane. Hacks one forward, ball to Cyril with the boys got a loose man in here and Bricknell finds him with a handball. Bricknell quickly onto the boot, nurses the kick up to find Pendles McCormick. McCormick quickly plays it on with the left foot, gets it up towards the run of Catford. Coming to meet it was Anderson, and great work by Cornish, goes to ground, ball deflects back out to McCormick. He was grabbed as he went that nose to the umpire. Ball at the back door, gives the opportunity for Benson, toe poked it forward, gathered by Catford. He's got time to go backwards, gives it back to McCarthy, nearly loses the pants as he gets a kick away, but out of all that, he's found the coach, Ryan Anderson, Goldie.
Ryan Anderson, just around from us here in the broadcasting position. 5-3 Blackwood. Onka's 4-2. Kick towards centre forward. There's that man. Matt Tuck takes the mark, centre forward, and he'll go back to kick the Woods' 5th Pistols. And this would be 5 goals on the trot now?
Absolutely.
For Blackwood?
Yep. So Tuck had he was very good last week against Blackwood, Mount Barker in the game at Arkabar Oval. And certainly started off well, had a stint on the sidelines for injury, but he's back in business, that's for sure. So, opportunity here. Goldie not a proven goal kicker this year, but this will be an important one if he can nail it towards the bowling club and tell his teammates in the square. Like umpire Axford moves a little bit, but I think he's generally happy. Jesse signalled, so a good finish there by your man, Boards, Michael Tuck.
Yeah,
Michael Tuck.
Been very impressed with Tuck. I mean, whether he's taking it on, running through the middle, that was a fantastic contested mark he just took then. And as you said, went back, did the job, and Blackwood are looking very good at the moment. And I think that breeze has just picked up a bit even since quarter time, and Blackwood are certainly making good use of it.
Actually, they've kicked the last 4 goals. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, last 4 goals of the match. So they've kicked 5 goals in this term.
5-2 for the term.
5-2 for this term. So the Woods slight getting away here. Blackwood 6-3. Onka Valley 4-2. 90-minute marks. First semi-final knockout. No tomorrow. No tomorrow for the loser. Here's a chance for Webber. Tried to get a handball out to a teammate. Warburt's in there. Coming through was McCready. Set upon immediately. Milson. Ball fumbles out. The ball to Sarah. Goes to McCready. Gets onto that left boot. Kicks it into the forward pocket. Dykesman's the target. Keeps it in magnificently, but it's gone out of bounds eventually, and there's a dog.
Yeah, it looks like a golden retriever, the doggy of the day up there. Wonder if the goat's here today.
Just found a nice seat there.
Yeah, why not? Sitting in the sun, the retriever, loving it. And, well, good retriever out of the centre there by Blackwood, that's for sure. So the Academy boy pitches it back in. Hopton goes second bite. Also, there was McCarthy. Quick kick away by the Dogs. Only as far as Mo Milson, who's coming to the side. Moses, here the part to seize at Uraidla.
Good one. Kicks inside 50, deep. Onka's players pushing deep. It's gone over the back. There's that man again.
That's that man.
No,
Tuck, the excitement machine.
He's on the scene. 20-minute mark. He's everywhere. 6-4, Onka Valley 4-2. If you coach Paul Dingo Tanner at the moment, Boards, what are you thinking?
Look, I'm thinking that they need to slow Blackwood down. I think that they're really letting Blackwood off the leash, and they're playing a good running game at the moment. Onkas have got to slow the game down a bit, and they can't let Blackwood continue to just fly inside 50 with fast plays. So I think Onkas need to start taking possession of the ball, especially going against the wind. They probably need to play possession footy, find some ways into their forward line and get back on the scoreboard.
Well, but good tap to Catford, in turn got it up here. Gave it for Blackwood. No.
Chisler.
Wrestling pass. Anderson.
Wouldn't you love that coming at you? That's a beautiful pass.
Fantastic work.
Absolutely.
I think it might have been Hocking with that pass there.
Boards?
No, just nothing his opponent could do about that. It was a beautiful kick, but once again, Blackwood moved the ball quickly, and Onkas weren't able to get any guys back to fill the gap, and just a fantastic money kick inside 50 there.
So the coach,
how many goals has he kicked this year?
Not a major multiple goal kicker.
He's kicked less than 3.
He has indeed.
Well,
I'll tell you what, he's kicked one now. That's his first for the game, and importantly for the Woods, just gives us that little bit of extra breathing space. 7-4, plays 4-2. 6 goals to 2 currently for the term, Goldie, after, as you said, rightly so, the Doggies have kicked the opening 2 goals in the first 7 minutes. It's all been Blackwood on the scoreboard since then.
All Blackwood, and no Joel Aish, injured early in the first term with a hamstring. So good stuff here from the Woods. 22-minute mark, 7-4, Onka Valley 4-2. Winner goes into the prelim to play Harndor for a showdown against Loberthal in the grand final.
That, Goldie?
Back in the middle, Jan Warbett in the ruck, double fisted forward. Here we go. McCready, all he's got to do is pick it up, and he had teammate Tuck running for him, but it's gone the other way. Andy Vines, he's got a player out here on the wing. Could be chopped off, though. He was looking for Dean. Good work from Blackwood. They're mounting a challenge. Absolute force here towards the Bowling Green end in this second term. A lot of ferocious attack on the ball inside 50. Jeffries managed to get a handball out, and it's taken by Johnson there near the Dogs interchange bench.
Yeah, rightly so. And they said where Coach Tanner will be, well, a little bit concerned. 22 minutes gone. His side trailing by just over 3 goals here. So I'd be pretty happy to see half-time arrive and just give him a bit of a rocket. So ball pitched in, Sleep, hopped and ball come down there. Around the corner was Catford. He's everywhere.
Oh, Deichmann at the back of the bus.
Can he get it? No, it just won't sit enough for him. But 3 for a more and a score. So 6 goals forward. They've kicked this quarter goldie. If they'd been straight, who knows? They could have just put this game to bed. But the Dogs still have a chance as the ball comes back in through the agency of Jeffries, I think it was.
Andy Vine. I've got some comments coming in. Tim Glover. Woods have contained Greenslade. Great games to date. And Michael Warburton.
The Midge.
Midge, who'll coach Achunga into the reserves grand final. He's saying, great to hear the great Michael Borden on the airwaves.
Meanwhile, there's a chance for Johnson. He's given it another big hoof.
Oh, there we go.
He's
loving it.
Evan Johnson show here this afternoon. That's his 3rd for the term. Boards.
Yeah, hasn't he been impressive? And I mean, 2 long goals and another one from a pretty tight angle. Blackwood are really putting the foot down at the moment, and Onka's, you know, I think they probably need to drop someone back behind the ball for the rest of the quarter, so the damage, so it doesn't get too ugly.
I tell you what, the boy from Sale City, it's virtually sale of the century, Goldie.
Yeah, no, he is putting on an absolute show here. They are up and about. They can smell in a showdown against Harndorf. And they go all right in finals against Harndorf because they beat them in the grand final back in 2017, if we remember correctly.
So Sleep, Warbett gets the ball down. Now he's Tuck streaming through. He's impeded there by Greenside. No, said the umpire got a handball out here, but intercept for the Dogs. I think it was Matty Dean. And in the meantime, ball held in at ground level.
And Pistols, good to see that Midget is following the game, and well done to the Achunga B graders yesterday to win through to the grand final. Fantastic work.
Midgie Warburton, great man. As the ball goes to ground here, McCready tried to get out hands and knees. Locked in there, finally comes out to Vines. He puts on the afterburners and just pulls away. Nurses the ball up there. And that's
there we go. We like that. We like that. That's good.
Here
we go. Here's the Bilby.
The Bilby has a bounce, runs inside 50, goes bang towards the primary school goals.
Oh, Mayo.
Mayo on the oh, he's hit the post. It's all happening here at the Cabbage Park. But thankfully, he's all right. So, Mayo with the opportunity...
I don't think he'll miss from here. I've seen players miss from here.
He's kicked 3 out of 4, so as Toby Paddy said, he better put in, and he has. He's kicked another one, so he's got 4 out of 5.
That's not
Toby,
bad.
You're a hard judge.
That's not bad. Good transition there, Boards.
Oh, that's what Dingo would like to see. I mean, the Catfish has just taken responsibility there. He didn't muck around. He grabbed the ball. He streamed through the middle. Got it in behind the Blackwood defence, and they've Mayo's finished off. So good to see.
More comments in here for your Boards. Tim Glover says, agreed. Boards is up and about, special commentating beautifully.
Well, Timmy Glover was working hard there. Well done to the Mount Barker Football Club for their organisation there yesterday. Scotty Filmer and the team. So well done in yesterday's performance. Meanwhile, Sleep got the ball, but hacked forward. Taken by the Dogs. Handball comes back here to Webber. Searches through traffic and spots out Sinnott.
Here we go.
Very good mark there, Riley Sinnott, under pressure.
It's just an issue with the Dogs. The last couple of weeks, they've allowed sides to kick a lot of goals in a row, and then they're playing. That's lovely. Lovely work. If you remember last week, Pistols, I think Lobethal got like 5 goals unanswered in that 3rd term, and then the Dogs hit back strong. But they seem to be doing the same here in red time.
They're reactive when they need to be instead of being proactive. But yeah, Mayo, this is a chance for his 3rd for the term.
And boys, Onkas have started both quarters with a real bang and then seem to go to sleep through the middle of it. I mean, Coach Dingo is going to be a bit worried about that. If they start well the next quarter, they're going to need to keep rolling through till the end, because Blackwood have finished off both quarters really well. However, Mayo could pot his 2nd in a minute here.
Yep, so Tommy Mayo.
Gay Rose is also enjoying quality coverage. We like that.
So Mayo, primary school end, he's already kicked 2 that end already. That's
He's
his
playing all
third.
right. He's playing all right, isn't he?
I tell you what, boys, Toby Paddy, I reckon he must have the earpiece and he's listening to our call, because when you gave him the rocket, he certainly delivered. He's kicked their last 3 goals.
Kicked 5 of the 6.
Yeah, so that's not a bad effort. But is it a pass?
I think it's is that a pass, Boards?
Toby, send us in and tell us if it's a pass yet in your opinion.
I think he's been outstanding, and he's certainly got Onka's right back in the game now. It was looking a bit ugly there for a while, but it's game on again as we head towards half-time.
Back in the middle. This is where it's going to be 1-1 loss for the rest of the match. Big Sleep's gone into the ruck versus Warbert. Vines versus Benson. Webber. Tuck's in there. McCready and Greenslade. Outer side wing. Johnson. 6 free goals. Here's a chance for the Dogs. Ball slipped out the back. Bit of tunnel ball action. Here's a chance for Blackwood once again. Moore goes out to Johnson. He's been everywhere. Handball over the top. Looking for Spawn. Flicks it onto himself. Once again. Here's a chance for Blackwood through the middle of the ground. It'll be Baldacero with the orange boots. Kicks it to the half-forward line. Opens it up for McCarthy. Won a couple of underage best and fairest in the Hills Football League, as we said. He's a talented youngster. And he holds it up the half-forward line. A couple of players actually in this Blackwood side have won a couple of underage medals. Benson's one of them, McCarthy. So a lot of young talent in this Blackwood lineup, along with the Dogs, obviously, as well.
So Ruckjewel comes down there. Kuiper fed it out the back door. Intercepting was McCarthy, who Goldie just spoke about. And in the meantime, hopped in there holding up Jag Cornish. So we'll have a ball up half-forward flank area for the Blackwood as they push towards the bowling club end. Fanning got it down, taken by Cornish. Managed to get a handball out of the Vines. He's been important this quarter. Gets a high kick towards the wing area. Lumbering out is Bennett's bouncing ball. Shinned it off. And taps it over the line. Was that deliberate?
I don't know the rule.
No, I don't know if that's paid now. We'll have got Shane Collins here today to adjudicate that, but umpire Williams said that was okay. So good defensive work by Bennett. So we'll have a Ruckjewel just down here from the Dreammaker Goldie on the wing area, outer wing.
Yep.
So it'll be Warbert against Sleep. So a few boys are sucking it in. It's quite warm out there in the sun. First semi-final. No tomorrow for the loser. Good tackle applied there on Catford by Greenslade. So once again, umpire Williams in the action.
Yep. Last time, at half-time, it was Blackwood leading 6-6 to Onka's 4-2. At the moment, it's Blackwood leading 8-5 to Onka's 6-2.
Oh,
Here we go. Mo kicks the ball inside 50. 1-on-1. It'll be a mark there. Front position. Nicely done. Cornish gets it out to Kuiper. And that's a nice mark there. Big Blake Fanning. So the Dogs have just settled here late. Last couple of goals. Oh, that's not good at all.
Well, is that the pivotal moment of the term, Michael Borden? So Fanning just looking to switch play. The kick went high and therefore gave the opportunity for Dykesman just to chip in and take a good mark. So
I think if they're looking at the Dartfish review on Monday night, the coach won't be happy with that. They were moving along the boundary nicely and he's just coughed it up inside for a shot for goal.
So Dykesman kicked the first goal of the game for Blackwood at a 15-minute mark at the
30-minute mark as well. Probably last kick.
So Dykesman towards the bowling club end. I tell you what, that is a coach.
There we are.
And World Cup Benny Goldfinch and Nostradamus again.
2 weeks in a row.
So right on the siren, and the Woods boys get around each other, and why not? Good half. They conceded the lead early, but fought back since midway through the first term. So they'll head into half time with a handy lead, 9-5-59. To Onka Valley 6-2-38.
How many goals the Woods kicked in that quarter?
That
Pistols?
was 8 goal to 4 quarters, so free-flowing football, but the Woods just able to have that mid-term break. Goldie, as you said, I think they kicked 5. And
5 unanswered goals.
Yeah, so for his thoughts, what's an entertaining game? As we said, 9-5 plays 6-2 in favour of Blackwood. Former West Coast superstar and the School of Rock man, Michael Borden.
Thanks, Pistol. Look, a great quarter of footy there. To have 12 goals kicked for the quarter and to see both teams continuing to attack was fantastic. And Onka's opened up fast, kicked a couple of goals, and then Blackwood took control. Kicked I think 5 goals in a row before we saw the Catfish take the ball and stream through the middle. And it turned the tide of the game again. And unfortunately for Onka's, an unforced error that has set up Blackwood for a goal right at the end of the quarter. So Onkas are going to need to, just forget about that, get themselves together and use the wind in the third quarter. But I'm really impressed by both teams, really impressed by both coaches as well. They're not putting guys back. They're not trying to block the play up. They're not trying to slow it down. It's some really, really good footy, and really impressed with what I'm seeing out here today. Also, I think need to mention Evan Johnson for Blackwood. He's kicked 3 goals for the quarter, and at the other end, Tom Mayo. I mean, those forwards are both putting on a clinic, and as far as individual efforts go, there's none better than those two out on the field at the moment.
Okay, boards, thank you very much for your assessment there, and we'll go down and check all the stats at Matty with Jaden Jordan Hill, and of course the toe cutter, Indy 500 Rogers. Take it away, boys.
Thanks, Jim. Cheers, Pistols. So, yeah, 92 kicks there for Blackwood in that half, 65 handballs and 53 tackles as well. At one stage in that quarter, they had 5 inside 50s for 5 goals. So their conversion inside 50 was really good. That rounds out to 29 inside 50s for the half as well, and hit-outs is to 13. They were really good, Blackwood, in that quarter. They were really good around stoppages. McCready was good. He likes playing against Onkers. The last time he played against Onkers, he was really dominant in stoppages. Indy, Onka's mate.
So at the half-time, we got 82 kicks, 50 handballs, 48 tackles, 38 marks. They don't sound like underwhelming stats, but very small portion of them came in that second quarter. I think what happened was they stopped going long down the corridor and playing as dangerous as they were in the opening term, and they did also deplete a bit in the middle. I actually think they maintained a pretty good composition going forward. Once again, those inside 50 entries are usually accounting for scores, which is good, particularly when, was it Bilby that kicked 2 in a minute late in that quarter? Was it Bilby or Mayo who did that? Regardless, you could definitely see that those inside 50s account for a lot of conversions. I just think at the moment, their centre clearance work, 4 in that quarter, but considering the amount of goals kicked, was actually quite underwhelming. I think against Blackwood, they lost the aerial dominance, and like the Lobethal game last week, they struggled to take those pack marks. So just a few steps of improvement for Onkas to keep this game alive now. And Webber was also still strong in that quarter, but just a little bit underwhelming compared to his amazing opening term. 10 disposals in the first and only 5 in the second. So just one thing to note.
And also, just some quarter stats here. So, yeah, 52 points Blackwood scored in that quarter. That's actually their highest second quarter score for the year. I reckon it's the highest second quarter score for the year for any team as well. And Onkas scored 4 goals in that quarter, and they averaged about 3. So that was an improvement there, but Blackwood just really dominant in that quarter. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much there to the boys with the stats that matter. As we said, entertaining game at the moment. A 21-point lead to the Woodsman, 9-5 to 6-2. Now, Michael Borden, as we said, very astute man when it comes to footy. Well, while you're during half-time, mate, just sitting down there in the sun, we on the deck chair, just a very delightful setting out here at the moment. No doubt Shane Collins is probably enjoying himself down at the races. Hopefully there's a good crowd down there. Boards, just want to get your thought on the state of footy at the moment. As we know, you're involved with the college system, with the but when you consider the elite level and then down through the grassroots level, you're a student of the game. Well, what's the state of the game? Is it healthy? How do you see it? Kids playing footy or not, and just the way it's being managed? Yeah.
Well, Pistol, I think
we can have Boards as beef if you want, mate. Feel free. No one's listening, just us.
I've got nothing to beef about at the moment. I think the state of footy in South Australia, Pistol, it's been fantastic to see us get a season away. I mean, you look at the grassroots and the importance of, not just footy, of team sport for kids to be able to get out and play. And in this COVID environment, it looked like there wasn't going to be any sport played this year. And to have the footy season up and about, to have juniors out there playing, and we know in this kind of environment it's so important for young men and young women to be able to have those connections and be part of a team. So being out here on a day like this, we remember how important footy is to our community, and seeing us get it up and going in South Australia, regardless of it being a shorter season, I think has been brilliant. And hopefully our state and the rest of Australia can continue to improve the health and stay healthy, so the season can continue. At the school footy side of it, we're seeing very strong crowds every week, seeing a very strong competition, and expecting quite a few boys to get drafted out of that competition, and a lot of them go back to the SANFL, whether it's under 18s or reserves competitions next week to finish off their season. From the AFL point of view, I think the AFL's done a fantastic job to get the season going and to keep it going. There's unfortunately not people able to go to the games, and not as many people able to go to the games, and unfortunately for Victorians, they haven't had any footy for quite a while. But it's very important to have that season going and to have that interest. And in the tough times, it's really good for people to have something to watch and to follow, and to forget about all the other crap that's going on at the moment. So, I'm sure that the scene we've got out here at the moment at Uraidla is happening in numerous places around the state. Unfortunate for some country areas that they weren't able to get their teams up and going.
I was just going to ask you about that boards, because obviously with your association with footy on the West Coast, you know how important it is community football to little communities. And it just must be really hurting them, as you said, I think over half the SA country leagues this year are not playing. We've even seen a few, the Limestone Coast League, born out of the fact that 3 leagues amalgamating down the southeast so they could have a game of footy. But, one who's lived in that situation, the community football and the communities rural must be, because it's not just a sporting outlet, pardon me, release, it's also the social side of a lot of little country communities, so they must be really missing the footy.
Yeah, I think on a place like Eyre Peninsula, really tough, because Port Lincoln Footy League's gone ahead, whereas Great Flinders has not. There's a lot of people over there who footy and netball is very, very important for, so there's a lot of people travelling a long way to play footy at Port Lincoln every week, which is great that those people can still get a game, but unfortunate that in those communities there's not that Wednesday or Thursday night where everyone gets to training and, they do their training, they catch up, they have a beer, they have a schnitzel, and, it's such an integral part of their life over there, and it's such an integral part of people's, emotional well-being as well, just to catch up with people. And we know that, unfortunately there's people who are lonely, who even if you can get to the footy on a Wednesday night and catch up with a few people, and you can do the same on Saturday, it's such a great thing to do. So I'm hoping that people who aren't able to do that are able to, found other avenues to catch up with people.
Well, hopefully they're watching the Dartfish coverage here.
That's right.
Michael, taking footy into, places like rural Victoria. I know online we've had a few messages come in over the season of people being able to watch footy. Obviously, Hills expats, or they've got relations playing here. So, yeah, it's a changing world, isn't it?
Yeah, and feeling really sorry for the people in Victoria, because we know that footy is such a, we love our footy here, and they are mad for it in Victoria, and just so sad that their VFL, their country footy leagues, that their kids, the boys and girls aren't getting to play footy this year. So really unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. We are fortunate here in South Australia, but really, why would you like to go to South Australia? I see a famous quote by someone in power in Victoria, Goldie.
We've got a magpie down here, just having a bit of an eat of a chip here.
Here he comes, Benny.
Yeah, a magpie having a good feed here of a chip. So,
well, I tell you what, they might be feasting on the Suns on Monday night, Goldie, the mighty pies. At least we haven't got a swooper around. Pie swooping on the chip. But
temperature out there, boards, because we got a few comments coming in here. Just wondering what the temperature is.
Look,
actually, I can help you out, boards, because on the phone here, my phone, it says, I know we're in the Dream
What's
Maker,
it feel like?
Where it's about 20 degrees cooler with the air condition. Just turn it down a bit with your Goldie. It's a bit too cold. It's 14 degrees apparently out there, Michael.
Yeah, I don't think it's changed since the start of the game. As what Benny said at the start of the game, 14, I'd think is spot on at the moment. Look, it's beautiful. The wind has dropped off as well.
Yep.
There's no wind. It's just perfect finals football conditions, and I'm sure that what we see in the second half is going to be well worth watching.
Now, boards, obviously you called last year's Division 1 Grand Final and Division 2, or Country Division. And out at Chunga Oval we were last year, and oh yes, the Adonis, of course, was there, and Dylan Madsen. But your thoughts on who should present premiership medals and cups? Just
Oh,
Yeah, what
yes,
are your
yes.
thoughts on that? Because
Very
I
topical.
don't think we've continued on since last year. That was the kind of the last comment of that game was regarding who should present medals in the cup. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll give you the red hot tip. It shouldn't be some punsy politician who rocks up for a bit of me time once a year. I mean, we need someone who's respected within the football world, who certainly, whatever that bloke's name is, I can't remember, and I'll probably never hear of him again because he's totally irrelevant. But we don't need blokes rocking up like that just trying to take the limelight. We want to have a local person who is respected in the football world and who comes to the footy each week. You know, you can't just have blokes rocking up and saying it's all about me, I'll present the medals, I'll present the cup, and doing it for political reasons. We want someone who deserves to be there. And I'll give you the red hot tip, whoever that bloke was, and actually don't care who he was, but I don't want to see him back this year.
No, we like that.
Of course,
There
the
we go.
thoughts of Michael
And
Board, not necessarily those of Hills Footy Media, but no, well said, Boards, and I've been a big advocate for years to get, a past premiership coach,
Yep.
a past best and fairest, that sort of stuff to present the medals.
I
But,
mean, it's just...
we need tradition in the Hills.
They're a disgrace. I mean, look at the way they carry on in Parliament. Sorry, don't get me started, but if the kids at school behaved like those guys did in Parliament, we'd be so disappointed and we'd be embarrassed. But those guys seem to carry on like that and then think they can come to a very important country football game and present medals. And I won't have it, Pistol. I just will not have it.
Well, I tell you what. So obviously you're not a fan of the Minister of Education.
The Minister of Education is fantastic.
John Gardner? is that
John Gardner. No, we love John Gardner. He's a guy who is in it for the right
Actually, I think
reasons.
we've got a text there from John Goldie. I hope he's not talking about me. No, just kidding.
No, John Gardner is outstanding. You know, there's always one who stands out as being a good operator, and John Gardner is certainly an outstanding operator, and very pleased that he's our Minister of Education in South Australia.
Good work, John. Now, being a good work, what do the Dogs have to do in the second half here for good work to take the lead in this game and perhaps win it and advance to the preliminary final? At the moment, 9-5-6-2. Put your hat on as a coach once again. What do they do?
Look, it obviously starts in the middle, and I saw Big Sleepy come into the ruck towards the end. I'm not sure what's going on with Shell, but I thought Shell was starting to really jump over the top, and then there was a change. So I'll be interested to see how they start, and obviously Blackwood are paying a lot of attention to Johnny Greenslade, which he deserves to have that attention paid to him because he's outstanding, and they've probably got to look to hit it to guys like the Catfish who are not going to be wearing a tag and let them run through the middle, because we know Johnny's good enough to take the tag and still get important possessions, but I think they need to look for a different hit too, get the Catfish on the end of it and get him streaming forward. But Blackwood certainly have got the momentum going into half time, so Onkas have started each quarter really well. So the wind has just picked up again too, and it's certainly going to favour Onkas from the start of the quarter.
Hi, it's Chris Gowans here, SANFL Hall of Fame member, and you're listening to the Vibe of the Hills Footy on HFL Media.
G'day, this is dual Hills League male medalist Matt Cooper, and you're catching the vibe of community football here on HFL Media.
You are on HFL Media, just waiting for the teams to get set here for the start of the second half. Division 1, first semi-final, 9-5, Blackwood leading Onka Valley 6-2 from the Uraidla Oval. And just a score update from the preliminary final to second one. Of course, Ironbank winning yesterday quite comfortably 19-19 against the reigning Premier Gumaraka 6-4. So Ironbank into the big dance next week, and they'll be taking the winner of today's game, which at the moment at half-time, Birdwood 7-5. Goldie are leading Kangarilla Your Boys 2-9. So the Roosters perhaps first grand final since 2011, I think. So
That's it.
Anyway, what do you got? What's happening on the thread?
A few comments coming in. As I said, Tim Glover enjoying the work of Boards, along with Midgie Warburton.
Thank you.
Ben Norton agrees with Henry Pope regarding Tom Mayo, who's kicked 5 goals so far. Kelly Clun says go the Onkas, and Nick Yench is enjoying Blackwood's performance so far.
Thank you very much, Nicky Yench, and everyone who's contributing. As we said, get online. What do they do, Goldie?
Yeah, hillsfooty.com. We've got the YouTube feed up there, and we've got Hills Football League Facebook page. We've got the live feed going there, which went absolutely nuts yesterday.
All right, all in readiness for the resumption of the duel in the sun here at Uraidla Oval. Second half, 21-point margin to Blackwood. Nearly a foot in the door of the preliminary final. Shell wins the first rack out, comes down to Tuck. He's dispossessed. In the meantime, the whistle has gone. Looks like it's a holding free. It's going to go to that man, Matt Tuck, who was so busy in the first half, undecided. Swazes up his options and goes out wide. He's got a lead here from Catford, bounces off his chest. Taken by the Dogs out the back door.
Cornish.
By Cornish, got it from Shell. Puts it up in the path for Lockie Peter in front of the old grandstand. Good defensive work by Jack Baldacera. Pushes the ball out over the boundary line. So, good opening start here. Both sides pretty keen. Blackwood keen to defend that 21-point lead. And, of course, the Dogs fighting hard. Shell got the tap down. Ricochet out here taking the spawn. Gives it to me. Teammate close to the boundary line.
Good tackle,
there.
Matt Dean.
Yeah, Matty Dean there. Has he won a free kick? No, the Academy boy indicating it's out over the boundary line. So we'll have our first boundary contest of the second half, Goldie.
Yeah, Dean just getting into it here with Spawn by the looks of it, behind play. In meantime, boundary throw in. Bennett versus Shoal in ruck. Ball hits the deck out towards the boundary line. Handball out, taken by Vines. And the boundary umpire says, I'll have it. So just ticked on exactly 1 minute. 9-5 Blackwood, Onka Valley 6-2. Leading goal kickers in the opening half. Tom Mayo's kicked 5. Sleep, the only other goal kicker for Blackwood. Leading for Onka's leading goal kicker for. Here's a chance.
Catfish!
The Catfish, Andy Vines. Well, he's another goal kicker for Onka's. I was just going to say Big Terry Sleep was the only other goal kicker, but now the Catfish there, Boards, has kicked the first goal of the second half, and let's see how the Dogs now go for the rest of the term.
Yeah, beautiful movement there by the Catfish through the forward line. They got the ball outside to him. He managed to get himself free and finished off beautifully. So good start for Onkas.
Yep.
And Blackwood's leading goal kickers Pistols. Johnson's kicked 3.
Dykesman 2.
Yep. Good start from the Dogs.
Yep. So just to start, Coach Paul Tanner would have wanted 90 seconds of the second half. They're on the board. So umpire Raymond puts it up. Shell against Warburton. Shell to Leaper got the tap down. Fisted forward there by Weber.
Whoa,
Tuck goes in, actually bundled out. It was Evan Johnson who was so busy with 3 goals in the first half. So Johnson, the boy from Sale City in the Gippsland, will get the resultant free kick. Study what's on and goes short with a drop punt towards half forward. Bouncing ball out lumbers Hopton, feeds out a handball towards Catford. Catford sells a bit of candy, goes backwards to Bricknell. Bricknell quick hands back to Hopton. Phil, he's run down by Sinot. And the ball cleared there by Shell for the Dogs out towards the broadcast wing area. Putting up the Dukes, there was Mayo. Good work by Dunn. He's got assistance there from a teammate in River Moore. Showed the handball back to Catford. Catford goes back here to Milson. Oh, good work there by Catfish. Nearly pulled up the deflection, but the Wood still trapping around with the ball. Interfering as Catfish, as Chipiana puts the ball forward. Coming out is Peter. And really a bit of perhaps overdoing the handball there, Michael Borden at Woods.
Yeah, they did, but I was really impressed by the Onkas forwards who pushed up and defended there. They weren't letting that ball out of their attacking zone, and just terrific defensive work by Onkas, and they've got the stoppage.
15 points the margin, 9-5 Blackwood. Onkas 7-2 from a stoppage. Tuck could have been held on. Jeffries kick inside 50 for the Dogs. Peters the target, went through his legs. Taken by Baldacera for Blackwood. Out towards teammate here in Spawn. Runs onto it. Sweeping handball out towards the playing coach and Anderson. Off he goes against Cornish. Kick inside 50 from Anderson. 2-on-1. Isaac McCormack. Another player there. Oh, nice work here, McCormack. Will's on the left. Oh, he's kicked a goal. Sensational from the pocket, the young man. That is smooth.
Well, great pedigree, as written in the Courier, son of a gun, high calibre, and he certainly showed that young Pendles McCormack.
Oh.
His second of the afternoon. He kicked the first goal of the second term for Blackwood, so he's repeated the dose in the third term. So that's the countering goal. They put it back to that the margin, the 21 points as it was at half-time with a great goal, Michael Borden, from the snap in the pocket there.
Oh, wasn't that fantastic footy by Blackwood? They took it from in front of the scoreboard in their defensive pocket and straight down the field and finished with a very nice snap for goal.
But great searching handball there on Spawn to Anderson. So good work by the Woods experienced players. Back in the centre, Shell got the tap down. Across the cricket pitch area, winning one for over. No, Weber got the ball. Gets a clean clearance forward towards the forward. Oh, Baldacera got his hands.
Good work, Mayo.
Good work back there by Dunn, I think it is. Applies a big tackle. In fact, it was James Hopton, my apologies. And ball goes to ground. Dunn involved at ground level, so got it right in the end. So a scrimmage and a ball up will take place about 35 to 40 metres out. Bouncing ball towards the pocket area, cricket net. Baldacera sets out a handball to McCready around the corner, up the line. Catford controls the ball at ground level and fed it out to teammates.
Oh!
Popped and he's taken one from Shell in the melon.
Goodness
Meantime,
gracious.
taken by McCormick, the last goal kicker, who gets one.
Players
forward.
have fallen
That's,
over here,
Yeah,
left,
it's heating
right,
up in the
and
kitchen, and Kuiper taking the defensive mark for the Dogs.
Yep. Jeffrey's just putting his boot back on. Greenslade managed to get away from Anderson. Kick straight down the middle of Uraidla Oval. He's gone over the top of a couple of players. Jan Warburt's being corralled here by Vines. Meantime, sweeping handball out towards the boundary line. Finds Johnson. Goes back. Oh, Spawn involved, and it's gone out of bounds. Certainly stepped up a tempo, hasn't it, Boards?
Oh, yeah, it is. It is really stepping up, and the boys are just a bit cranky after half-time, which is nice to see.
So, 10-5, Woods leading Onka Valley 7-2. 5.5 minutes gone, third term eliminations, first semi-final. Bricknell, this way, that way, finds himself space, kicks it out towards the vacant half-back flank area, foot race. Mo Milson leaving it. He got a bit of a helping hand over the boundary line from Chipiana in the cricket net, or the pub with plenty of beer pocket these days. So the academy boy, James O'Leary, I think he's done about 250 games as academy member.
Let's have a look at this.
The most experienced boy, as you expect, a high pitch there. Warbert just threw his opponent and Peter out the way. Tap down came. Looks like locked up there. Blackwood player at ground level. So once again, the rucks will gather. That was Tuck again at the bottom of a pack as he's been so far this afternoon. Oh, Shell, high leap into orbit. Got the tap down. Toe poke forward there by Prosser. And Baldacira walks it over the line in the bowling green pocket. So we'll have another ball in. 6.5 minutes gone, third term, 10-5 Blackwood, Onka Valley 7-2 on the call of the world. Trust you're enjoying our worldwide coverage with Dartfish.
Andy Vines and McCormick, goal kickers so far in this term. 21 points the margin. Important period in the match. Here's a chance for Bilby. What can he do? He wheels around on the right, snaps towards goal, and it's gone through for a minor score. So Onka Valley go to 7-3. Blackwood 10-5, 7 minutes gone, third term, and Blackwood player just down here
Tuck
at the moment,
again.
Matt Tuck.
I tell you, he's been in the wars this afternoon, but yeah, so Ginsley gets up, sucking it in. Meanwhile, Bricknell, the custodian defence, puts it down towards the cricket pitch area. Big Warburt's the target. Fanning got a hand to it, put the ball to ground, and there it is locked up. Over the top, looked like Webber applying the tackle on Jimmy Catford. So once again, the umpire will ball up. So Shell over the top, got the tap down, take by McCready. Got through traffic, intercepted by Jeffries. Ends there with Greenslade. A quick kick away towards half forward. Lurking is Bricknell. Good work there, tapping it forward with Sinot. Can he follow it up? No, Baldacira at ground level. Was he infringed? No, as Sinot wraps him up at ground level. Umpire Raymond right on the spot will say no prior. So he will come in and a ball up half forward flank for Onkers as they push towards that bowling club end.
Yep. Grabbing it straight out the ruck there was Shoal. I think
kick,
it is, and it's a free kick because he was tackled immediately there by Benson. So Daniel Benson probably will, well, not sure what he'll do. He might, we'll wait, see what he does here. So Benson goes with a shortish pass in the middle towards Spawn. 9 minutes gone, goal apiece so far. So Spawn with the ball. Just taking his time here. Probably kicked towards us in the broadcasting area. Big pack here. Hopped in over the top, ground level. There's the mullet and Catford, and he's wrapped up in a tackle by the chip.
Just repeating half-time. Country Division Preliminary Final 2. Birdwood 7-5. Leading Kangaroo 2-9. The winner to play Ironbank in the grand final next week. Ball comes out here by Greenslade. Quick hands. Got it to Matty Dean. I think it's high kick just in front of the broadcast spot. Spawn. Out the back he's got support from Bricknell. Has a bit of a fumble, but now gathers it. Shoots out a handball to Spawn. Spawn goes backwards to find space. Gets it back to Baldacira. Perhaps in the true centre-half back position as he streams down the ground. High kick back towards the wing area. McCready's the target. Got his hands to it. That's a very strong mark taken by McCready. Quickly gave it to Daniel Benson. Nurses it up. And that's, one grab, two grab to Bennett's. Oh, not paid by the umpire. Bit unlucky there, but Bennett's good enough to get it back to Benson. Benson goes bang towards the primary school. Open goal face. Tried to trap there by Dykesman. Dogs under defence here. Oh, taken by McCormick. Can he do enough? Impossible goal.
I think he's a free kick against Kuiper here for a throw.
Okay.
And Ryan Dykesman will have the shot in the pocket forwards.
But great work by Benson, who initially got the ball. I thought it could have been paid a mark, but not. But he did follow it up. And as you said, was involved, got the ball forward, and now Dykesman. So this will take his best kick here, Boards, as he tucked into the primary school pocket.
Yeah, I think whatever breeze there is, he'll be kicking into it. He's going to have to really bend it through. But let's see how we go. There's been some good goal kicking today.
Two for the game already. Looks like he's going to go the banana check side around the corner.
Oh, he loves it.
What, Flynn, the cameraman. Hopefully you got that. There's a sensational conversion from an acute angle, Goldie. So Dykesman is third on the board. More importantly, the 11th for Blackwood. The Woodsman, 11-5-71. Lead Onka Valley, 7-3. 10.5 minutes gone third term.
Handy break now, boards.
Yeah, and great work by Benson through the middle. Really provided some run and got it in there quickly. And, you know, Dykesman, he was very confident, went back and put it straight through the middle. Beautiful kick for goal.
So back in the middle. What have the Dogs got now? They're trailing by 26 points. A couple of goals to answer the first one in this second half, and we've gone 11 minutes now in the third term, so Dogs need a response. Where's it going to come from? Jan Robert for Blackwood kicks it out of the ruck towards centre forward. Tuck eluded him. He paved the way for Anderson, and he'll kick it. Goal.
Great work.
Oh, that was like the parting of the sea there, and it's on in the middle here. Bit of feeling.
Yeah.
Wow, just straight through the middle, the coach.
Yeah, that took 45 seconds since the previous goal, and fantastic finish there by the coach. Certainly had a few injury problems, but and also the burden of being a playing coach, but certainly coming to the party in the when it counts in the final. So good running goal to Anderson. So the Woods stretched it out to 12-5-77. Onka Valley 7-3, and as Goldie said, the Dogs need to reply and quickly, or season 2020 is over. Taken by Catford out of the centre from the ruck from Warbett. Oh, push out there, was it? No, said the
umpire Napstein sees it that way.
Tuck on Matty Tuck. Oh. So well, a bit ticky touch with boards, but if you're a Blackwood supporter, you'd say yes, that was definitely there. So Matty Tuck, who's been certainly a major influence here with the opportunity to push towards closer to goal.
And just a reminder, Joel H, their leading goal kicker with 40 for the season, went off.
Well,
about 5 minutes in the
first contest.
First contest. So this is a good effort from the Woods.
Yeah, really impressive by Blackwood to find so many other avenues for goal without their main spearhead there.
Tuck goes bang, right to the line, big pack, punch through, minus score. So Woods increase their margin.
Interesting point you make, Michael Borden. Ace finished with currently 40 goals. The next best is McCready with 15, Dykesman with 10, Hopton with 8. So as you said, he was certainly their key goal kicker, and they're doing a great job of his services now.
Yep. Of course, the winner of this plays Hahndorf in the prelim. One of the few sides in recent years to beat Hahndorf in the final is Blackwood, obviously 2017 grand final. Kick out towards centre wing. Pack forms. Oh, lovely mark over the top there by Moore, flying over the top of Chip. So one more here for the Woods, and that's a potentially game-winning lead. Kick towards. Calling it? Well, potentially. Here's Tuck. Snap round the corner. Bounce, all the way, has it? Oh, just touched on the line.
Corner shot, just skidded under him, and wow.
34 points the margin now.
So, Blackwood pushing, perhaps to put this game to bed as predicted by Benny Goldfinch. So, Ben Jeffries, the co-captain. Of course, he's co-skipper Brucey Kane, sideline with ankle surgery. So, Joffa, the sole captain, puts it out wide here, lurking Blackwood there. I think it's Johnson. He's dispossessed right in front of the Ferrari grandstand. Toe poke forward there by Vines. I think it was towards the older pavilion and out over the boundary line. So still a good crowd in the house, and I tell you what, a number of Blackwood supporters in the house, and why wouldn't they be? They had their reserves playing as well. Already their under-18s, Goldie into the grand final. So Blackwood seeking to advance. Unfortunately, their reserves going down by the barest of margins. Yeah, so Warbett gets it down. Looked like it was Hocking in there. He's held in the finally kick. No, it said the umpire. It was Jeffrey trying to get rid of it. So heading the ball back. Yeah, threw it at the umpire. I don't know if that's called for. But anyway, underway once again. Warbett gets it down. Umpire right in the spot is called no prior. McCready climbs up from the bottom of the deck, and once again we'll recommence proceedings.
Yep, 15 minutes gone. 34 points the margin. Onkas need one desperately. Jeffries kicks it towards the half-forward line, but Baldessera chops it off. Played a good job.
Yeah, considering he took a heavy one early in the game, but he's bounced back well, Goldie.
Baldessera kicks it up the wing, past the grandstand. Oh, high-liping mark there by Kuiper. Dogs need a settler, that's for sure. Kick into the middle of the ground, over the top of Shoal. Tried to put the mitts up. McCready sweeping out towards Bricknell, centre half back area for Blackwood. Handball still to himself. Then a toe poke, high ball, bit of a wedge shot into the middle of the ground. Sweeping handball over the top by Benson, does that well. Here's a Greenslade. Kicks for Onkas out towards Webber. Went off his head, hits the deck, McCready. Here's Bricknell. Opens up now for Blackwood out towards the half-forward line. The chip. He's got a couple of Blackwood. One of them, McCormack, flicked it out the back, tried to get it to the teammate. The chip was on the scene. Here's McCarthy out towards McCready. Kick inside 50 for Blackwood. Kuiper, front position. Oh, good work there by Dykesman. The umpire didn't see it that way because he's given away a free kick.
Yeah, he made a contest there, Ryan Dykesman, but infringed his opponent, so they quickly moved the ball up the line to Matty Dean. Half-back flank area for the Dogs. They need a goal and need them quickly. Sets it up, Bricknell's to take. Oh, he's bundled out over the line, goes to ground. He's in the wars this afternoon. Bit ginger to get up, Scotty Bricknell.
Jeez, yeah, he is in the wars.
Yeah, but the pain will be all much relieved, I think, if they get over the line and into a preliminary final. So Warbert hacks it down. McCready's been great this quarter. Oh, great desperation. Got it out to that man. Tuck threads his way through traffic beautifully. Goes across the ground into the run of Johnson. Will it sit for him? Yes. The ball from the Gippsland boy. Steadies, gets around his opponent there. Goes around him again in Webber.
Look at this.
That's a bounce. Oh, Manasseh style as he goes inside 50 for a target there. Brought to ground by Nathan Cox, back in the side through injury. Hasn't had a big influence this afternoon, Goldie, for the Dogs, and out over the boundary line. So, 16.5 minutes gone, 12-7, Blackwood leading Onka Valley 7-3.
So, boundary throw in. Inside 50 here for the Woods. They've got all the momentum here. One more. Could be really game
sealing, Goldie.
Game sealing.
Calling it.
Potentially. 34 points the margin.
It could be a bit like your medical diagnosis,
yeah,
so don't go too soon.
They're horrendous, those ones. Stoppage inside 50 here for Blackwood. Ball bobbles out. Quick hands over the top from McCormack. Tried to get it to Benson. Went and got it again. Went one way, then the other. Snaps it into the lap of Jeffries, and it's gone out of bounds.
He's like a washing machine there, Daniel Benson, and spin dryer. He was everywhere. But they just need to... your thoughts, boards? You think the next goal could be the sealer?
Yeah, the Blackwood midfielders, I've noticed, have really upped their work rate, and Blackwood are working hard to get more people to every contest than Onkas.
So Hopton took the ball to ruck, got it to Anderson. Little kick was smothered, back into a pack situation, and once again the lurking umpire Napstein will come in and ball it up. So 17.5 minutes gone, and the 34-point lead to the Woods.
Fabian Muller says, "Come on the Woods." On the Hales Football League Facebook page, we've got the live stream going.
Yep, send us how you're watching it. And as I said, big cheerio to the people over at the Blackwood Football Club watching it on the big screen over there. Bit of push and shove. Oh, a bit of feeling Jeffries in there. Well, I tell you what,
here we go.
In the pocket there.
Here we go.
McCready's into the come from everywhere. Tuck sprinting down like there's free pies as he comes racing. Oh!
Yeah, you sensed this was coming.
I tell you what, Jeffries involved initially. So, still a bit of heat in the kitchen. Be careful, boys. Forward to centre here, our boards in front of you. Baldacera just wandering down. It's probably all over when the time he gets there. But only two players are all joining in there. It's still push and shove. Umpires got their work on their hands down there to sort it out at the moment, boys. So still carrying on.
Yeah, there was a few boys really keen to get involved.
Yeah.
They came from everywhere.
Yeah, young McCormack,
I don't think it's anything more than a few handbags being swung and a bit of push and shove and probably a couple of nasty words. But
nothing like a pleasant Sunday afternoon, boards, is there? So out of that, Anderson will get the free kick. So the coach here, who actually kicked their last goal 7 minutes ago, the chance to raise his third for the afternoon across the face of goals, packed fives and fisted through defensively. So Blackwood advanced their score to 12-8. They're 80 as they lead Onka Valley 7-3-45.
Hi, it's Chris Gowans here, SANFL Hall of Fame member, and you're listening to the Vibe of the Hills Footy on HFL Media.
Yep, here's the Woods once again. The Dogs. Kick in the middle of the ground, taken by Tom Mayers. Kicked 5 goals, 5 of their 7. So he certainly played his role. Kick out towards the grandstand area. Good fist there by Baldacera. Off hands. Probably be on the end of it here again, Baldacera. Slips out the back cleverly by Sinot. Slaps it on for the Catfish. Kicked the goal in the opening minute of this third term. Respawn for Blackwood. Half back line. Kicks it to centre wing, and it's taken by a big Terry Sleep, who's one of the other goal kickers for Onkas, and that's a turnover.
Oh, yeah, well done. Intercept work there. Chop out by McCormick, and then he was grabbed. No, the free kick has actually gone to Webber, but anyway, so Webber in the centre of the ground, cricket pitch area. Watch out for the invisible man there, Joe the cameraman style. He goes out towards the flanker. He's got a loose man out. It looks like it's DJ Lee's. Oh, good work. Just getting his hands to it to deflect the ball over was Evan Johnson. He's playing some sort of a game this afternoon. 3 goals and, well, good defensive work like that. So the Academy boy will pitch the ball back in front of the old grandstand here at Uraidla. So Rucks Gather, Sleep versus Warbett. Warbett gets it down for the Woods. Oh, bustling through was Tuck. Benson also there, comes out here. Oh, he lost the ball, was Hocking. Wraps up with a good tackle though, and holds the ball in. McCready also in there. So the Woods on their way, perhaps to a preliminary final, as Goldie said. The last side, one of the second last side to beat Harndorf in Hills Football League competition in the 2017 Grand Final. Here's our man McCormick, foot race against the chip, taps the ball on so he can bounce it back up in his hands, and now delivers it up line. Oh, cruel bounce there for the Blackwood player there, and allows the Dogs to come back, but it's a good defensive mark taken by Rivermore. Gets a mung kick up forward, trying to find a teammate in Hocking, but chopped out there by Greenside. Up the line finds the Bilby.
Yep, Cornish involved as well. So Bilby, it's half back line for Onkas. Not much presenting here. Goes with a short pass for the chip. McCormick on the mark for Blackwood. Just around from us here in the broadcasting position. So Chipiana kicks it towards centre wings, taken by Bilby. Patient slow build up here from the Dogs. 1 goal they've kicked in this term. Blackwood have kicked 3. Counted the first one from Andy Vines to get us underway in the second half. Talking to the Catfish, here he is, Andy Vines. 22-minute mark, 35 points the margin. And Vines, gee, that's real stop-start sort of stuff there. And umpire Raymond says it's 50 against Spawn, so cleverly done there by Vines, I suppose, and he'll have a shot for goal.
Bit of push and shove Spawn and Matty Dean, and here we go. Round 2's on boards.
So a bit going on just off behind that too. A bit of finger pointing.
There, McCready and Greenslade. Yeah. So,
come on, boys. Someone going to throw one properly, or just going to push and shove?
Make it he's a politician. Boards, give it to him.
No, you wouldn't find them getting the hard ball.
Anyway, out of all this, the ball was with Vines, as the Goldie said. He kicked the opening goal in the first 90 seconds, so the chance for his second, and a much-needed one for the Dogs towards the bowling club end, just to keep their heartbeat alive for 2020. Deliberate approach, not a lot wrong with that, kicked Michael Borden. So where there's life, there's hope, Boards.
Beautiful kick by the Catfish, and just it's still a real contest. I mean, if Onkas can get the next one, they're right in this, but really impressed by both teams. There's some great footy being played out here, and it's really competitive. You can see it means a lot to every bloke out there on the field. It's a great spectacle.
I think, Goldie, the thing they have in the back of their mind, the Doggies, because as we said pre-match, round 7 when they trailed 7-3 to 10-10, and they kicked 6 goals to 2 in the last quarter, so not beyond them to overrun them.
No. Yeah, that's right. The Storm home last time, and Lockie Peter kicked 3 in that final term to get them over the line by one
goal, yeah.
1 goal. So back in the middle, 24-minute mark. So last term was 30 minutes, so maybe there's about 5 odd minutes left in this quarter for the Dogs potentially to get a little closer. Currently trailed by 29 points. Centre half forward area for Blackwood. Ball comes out, taken by Cornish. He goes back dangerously under pressure. Here is Dean. He's set upon. How's the umpire going to see this one? On the scene, umpire says that's my ball.
Crossed the arms and said it was held in, so very lucky there. So dangerous territory, fanning up high for the Dogs. Got the tap down. Going to ground level there is Nathan Cox under the pack for the Dogs. So once again, dangerous territory as umpire Williams comes in for a ruck duel. So rucks gather. One down by Jimmy Hopton it was. Bouncing ball, trying to attack it, trap it was Benson. Ball spills out wide. There's Anderson. He's played a pretty handy game for the coach this afternoon. Couple of goals and some pretty good creative touches. So out in front of the throw in front of the Woods faithful, they'd be pretty happy at the moment because lost last year's elimination final, so the chance this year for them to go a bit deeper into the preliminary final. Ball comes out there, taken by Jeffries. He's battled hard. Big bear hug tackle applied by Troy Hocking. Wraps up the Dogs captain who goes to ground. So once again, we'll have a ball up. 24.5 minutes gone, 12-8. The Woodsman lead the Doggies 8-3.
Here's a chance from the stoppage. Benson for Blackwood kicks it into the forward pocket, off hands. Nicely done there. Crisura to Kuiper. Kick outside the defensive 50 for Blackwood. It'll come back in. I think it was McCready.
Milson.
Lovely work there by Milson. Went with the second effort. Went with the tackle. Holds the ball up inside 50. Oh, the umpire's seen as my ball. Was it a high? It's my ball, I think he says.
Plenty of courage by the young man, Mo Milson. Of course, coming in the side, another youngster, Matty Teague, missing out this afternoon. So high leap. Ball comes down once again. A big tackle applied there, and we'll have another ball up, Goldie.
So, we have gone 26 minutes, final term, Blackwood 12-8, Onka Valley 8-3, 29 points the margin. Here's a chance from the stoppage.
McCarthy, I think it is.
McCarthy. Oh, he loves it. Good reason. Good reason behind that one, because they skip back out to that handy break board. 13 goals, 8 now to Onka Valley, 8 goal 3.
Yeah, great bit of crumbing there by Blackwood, and just noticing at the moment, Anderson, Spawn, Benson, Tuck, Catford, I mean, they're all over it. They're just ferocious in their attack on the ball, and their two-way running is certainly better than Onka's at the moment. And noticing that their transition, they're hitting some fast, sharp kicks when they're trying to change lanes, whereas Onka's are putting it up in the air, slow transition, which gives Blackwood a chance to turn it over and go forward and kick a goal. So Blackwood all over them at the moment.
So 45-point lead to the Woodsman. Warbett. Shell got the tap down, cricket pitch area. Vines tried to steal it. Intercepting there for Blackwood. Oh, a heavy tackle play. I think it might have been Catford with the mullet. Indeed it is. So umpire Raymond on the spot. So I will bowl up. So still inside the centre square. Warbett backhanded down. Head over the ball there once again with Benson. Ball comes out here to DJ Lees. Flicks it out to run to Crisera. Caresses one up high. Intercepted mark there. Was it paid? No. Yes, it has been by Baldacera, is it? Sorry, Spawn in the distance. The sun starting to shine on the Dreammaker window here, Goldie. So we'll have to get the media manager perhaps to clean it. Hasn't been diligent in his work. So Spawn leads it out towards the interchange gate pocket. Oh, big leap there in the pack. That was McCready up high. In fact, McCormack, I think it is, 45, gets up and rather gingerly. Yeah, McCormack, looks like he's lost his headband as the trainer comes out. And in the meantime, you can hear in the background, 3/4 time, siren has arrived. So, 3/4 time, and the job really headed the Doggies here to remain in the premiership hunt there. 8-3, Blackwood a 13-8 here on the...
Isaac McCormack doesn't look good. He's going straight into the change rooms here with the left ankle.
Yes, as I say, straight down the race. Maybe they can strap him up, Goldie, because obviously it's a break. So he hasn't gone off the ground.
Of the trainers.
All right, we'll be back more shortly here on the Hills Footy Unplugged.
This is Lucas Herbert from the Blackwood Football Club with the best Hills Footy coverage here on HFL Media.
Hi, this is Brendan Leckel from the Bootle Football Club, and you're catching the best of Hills community football action right here on HFL Media.
Hi folks, it's Graham Corn speaking, and you're taking in the best of Adelaide Hills community footy right here on HFL Media.
Hillsfooty.com, proudly brought to you by Mortgage Choice Adelaide Hills, in association with HFL Media.
Trust you're enjoying our coverage here. Sunday special for the called The Wild here on hillsfooty.com and Hills Footy Media, and it's the Division 1 first semi-final coming to you from Uraidla Oval in the picturesque Adelaide Hills. And Blackwood Football Club 13-8, 86, leading Onka Valley, last year's grand finalist, 8-3, 51. We'll go down to Michael Borden, who's on board today. Special comments for his assessment shortly, but before that we'll go to see where the game's being won and lost with well, the duo who bring it all to stats, Jaden and Indy. Down to you, boys.
Cheers, thanks, Pistols. So, yeah, 36 kicks there for Blackwood in that quarter. They had 14 inside 50s. I think where the game was really, won in that quarter of Blackwood is they locked it in their inside 50. They were really good in that area, in that quarter, and they've got 97 handballs and 69 tackles for the game so far, and 36 marks as well. So the inside 50 count is 43. For Blackwood, and also so they scored 4 goals in that quarter and they averaged 3 goals, so it was actually their third highest fourth quarter score for the year, so they did well in that area. Indy, what about Onka's, mate?
You could look at the basic stats, and there's not too much to nitpick here. 117 kicks and 60 handballs. Onkas are still centering their game plan around kicking, which is absolutely fine, but their aerial dominance has been completely lost from that promising first quarter. They have 8 marks inside 50 for the game. 5 of them were in the first quarter, and no marks inside 50 in the third term. And you can look at the total mark tally, 51 overall. 23 of those were in the first quarter, which means between the second and third quarter, they've only managed to get 28, which isn't very reassuring. And unfortunately, with that loss of aerial dominance, Onka's conversion ability that they usually have going forward. So really, it has gotten to the stage where if they wanted to wrestle the game from the fire, they would need to start taking the game on more and handballing a bit more, because even though 60 handballs doesn't necessarily mean doom and gloom from a statistical point of view, it might help them get this game alive again. And Tim Weber only had 3 disposals in that quarter, his lowest in a quarter for the year that we've seen so far. I'm just noting, do they want a bit more handball composure to utilize Weber's groundwork a bit more?
Thanks, Indy. And also, I think there was 2 points in the second half of Blackwood that needed to get right. And the first one was in that 10-minute to 20-minute period in that third quarter. They dropped off, and Mount Blackwood were really good in that period. And in the third quarter just gone, Blackwood were really good. And also the last quarter, boys. So last quarter, last time these two sides met, you said Onka scored 43 points. So Blackwood just need to hold it a bit here, and hopefully they can get the win. And also the last time a team has come from behind from trailing at three-quarter time in a final was in the 2016 grand final when Harndorf trailed at three-quarter time and beat Torrens Valley.
Good on you, boys. Thank you very much. And you might have heard in those stings earlier, Brendan Leckel, the erstwhile president of Birdwood, Goldie would be pretty happy at the moment. Three-quarter time country division preliminary final. Birdwood 11-8, Lee Kangaroo a 4-10. Quickly down to Michael Borden. How did the Dogs get out of this?
Oh, look, Greenslade and Vines are very important on ball here. They've got to get first use of the ball. The thing is that Warbett has taken control of the air in the third quarter for Blackwood, and he's been feeding his mids first use of the ball, and they've been ferocious with their attack on the footy. They look fit, they're running hard, so the Onka's mids have got their work cut out for them.
Blackwood have got one player on the interchange bench at the moment who's fit, with McCormack and Joel Leish injured at the moment. So here we go. The Woods, though, motoring forward from the opening. Beautifully done here. Nilsson kicks the ball inside 50 for the Woods. Opening forward entry. One here would probably be the knockout blow, I'd say. Pistols, 35 again. Points the margin, again.
Just like Melbourne, it just keeps coming back,
yeah.
Goldie.
But warm conditions here. Boards, one player on the bench for the Woods would give Onkas a slight bit of chance, you'd think?
Yeah, but for me, Benny, the Blackwood boys are looking fitter. They're certainly attacking the ball harder, and their two-way running is they're swamping Onkas at the moment. So, yeah, they may be some rotations down, but, geez, they're running well at the moment.
I'm sure Coach Ryan Anderson during three-quarter time, boys, would have stressed what happened last time when they had that fade out against the Dogs. So driven forward by Weber, tumbles into the hands of Greenslade, round the corner up here, Boulder Sierra versus Peter. Peter uses his body very well. The reigning country medalist.
Here goes the Catfish.
Got support from the Catfish. You can hear Boards get excited. Catfish gets around him.
No one's there.
Logateer, what? It's drifting across and helped across by Brecknell in the end. But, well, you can tell Boards, he might have a new... love interest out there. He loves the Adonis in Madsen, but I tell you what, the Catfish is pretty exciting.
I've always been a fan of the Catfish. I remember him as a young fella at Nan Primary School, just running up and down the oval, lunchtime, recess time, kicking goals. The Catfish, he's always been a lover of the game.
Was he a good student? No, Boards. A clay?
Probably A+, I think, the Catfish.
From the stoppage, inside 50 for the Dogs. The Woods defence held up well all day. Snap round the corner from Bennett. Weber on the scene after a...
nearly took half the crowd out.
Yeah, he almost took half the crowd out. Glenn Francis is listening from, watching from COVID-Toria. So there you go. Of course, he was watching last week. Kick deep. Lockie Peter, front position. Good spoil there. Off hands, Mayo's kicked 5 goals. Set upon immediately in a tackle. There's this ferocious attack on the ball by Tuck, and that's held up.
Because a good Blackwood man, Glenn Francis.
Yep.
The pass. So trust you're enjoying it, Glenn, and you've been able to get out to the bottle shop for a few VBs so you can settle back and watch the game. You'd be happy your Woods lead 13-8 to 8-3. Ball comes out. Here's chance for Jeffries around the corner.
Well done,
shepherded
Jeff.
by Lockie Peter.
He's hurt himself.
Yeah, he's pulled up very lame.
Or has just got a corky maybe in that?
In that contest with Baldacera, but doesn't matter. Jeffries around the corner with a important goal here for the Dogs, the first one of the final term. So they move to 9-3-57. Blackwood 13-8. So can that be the spur, Michael Borden?
Well, Onka's going to want to go again very soon. They've got to put some pressure on, and they've got to, really get Blackwood on the back foot, because I think that was really against the tide. I think Blackwood are still looking like they're running better, but an excellent handball out of the stoppage by Andy Vines and a fantastic finish. Good goal by Onkas.
So back in the centre, fisted forward by Shell. The first to get there's Tuck. He's been busy all day. Fantastic game by him. Chips it out to Mo Milson. So Mo takes a wing just out in the wing area. Quasira just give him a little bit of shadow work on him, making life as difficult as he can. So Milson up the line. Hopton's the target, sets himself, got his Dukes to it out the back, grabbing at the crumbs, so to speak, was Catford, Jimmy Catford. He's held up in a tackle from Shell, so once again umpire Timmy Knapstein will come and board up. So Hopton will do the ruck, working against Shell. Shell over the top, got it down. Catford spins through like a top, gets a clearing kick, bouncing ball over the head of Kuiper, cruel bounce. Lurking there is McCarthy, who kicked that miracle goal in the last term. Held into the cricket net pocket here, Goldie. So umpire Raymond will come in. Of course, two past Harndorf champs, and Dennis Raymond and Timmy Knapstein officiating today.
Have done well today. Stoppage inside 50 for the Woods. I'll be happy to lock it up here for a while. And it's held up. So 5 minutes gone, 13-8 Blackwood. Onka Valley 9-3. Of course, the Woods finishing the minor round in 5th. Just
had to win their last game to make it.
Last game against Mount Barker, and then last week 7-2 set up the win against Mount Barker, and then today they lead 13-8 to Onka Valley 9-3. Of course, the Dogs finishing 3rd in the minor round. Kick up the wing from the Dogs, shoals the target. Greenslade around the action. Lovely work by Matt Tuck. He's been great all day. Snaps the ball inside 50 for the Woods. Pack forms off hands, and it's held up inside 50 for the Woods.
So, bottom of the pack, there's Matty Dean. Gets up gingerly. Been a pretty tough duel here this afternoon. So, some 25 minutes left of the season for one of these particular clubs. Oh, thrown out there, a high tackle there on as Elise comes in.
Just got a comment here. Anton Heiser.
Yep, former.
He says Andy
doggy.
A+ Vines couldn't spell catfish.
Comes to Webber.
He could kick a good drop punt, though.
Puts it out wide here. Good mark taken out by Kuiper, who's run down from his defensive spot. He's got support there. Put his teammate under the hammer big time. He's almost disrobed in the tackle there applied by Johnson. And that was Cox, I think it was. So a ball up take place in front of the Ferrari grandstand here at Uraidla Oval War, but double hands it down. Taken by Spornoff, threads his way through traffic. Very nicely got it out to Catford. Got the Catfish and Catford out there. In the meantime, goes back to Johnson. The boy from Soul City goes bang and finds Dykesman just in front of the scoreboard, which at this stage, nearly 6 minutes in the last term, reached Blackwood 13-8 to 9-3. So Dykesman, Goldie already with 2 for the afternoon. So the chance just to extend that and possibly the sealer.
Yep. Haven't noticed Isaac McCormick come back out in the ground. Joel Aish, of course, still injured from the first term. So the Woods to maybe a knockout blow here. One nail in the coffin or a couple more. Dykesman from the boundary line near the Blackwood supporters. And across the face of goal. In fact, it's gone out of bounds on the full. 13-8, 9-3, 7 minutes gone. 29 points the margin. The Dogs need to get a wriggle on quickly.
So break Fanning with the resultant free kick. So Fanning up the line. Here's Milson setting himself. Sport the marking attempt to Bell. Close to the boundary line. Benson just walks it over in front of the Blackwood, the adoring Blackwood public at this stage. They could sense their side advancing further into the season. Preliminary final. One down by Fanning. Taken here by McCarthy. Spins out of trouble. Magnificent. Got it back to McCready. He looked like he was set for the Russell Ebert over the head handball, but he was locked up. Good tackle applied by DJ Lees. So umpire Raymond will come in once again and ball it up half forward flank area. Hopton does the ruck work, gets it down. Lurking there is McCarthy. Threads his way, but deflected by Greenside, who got it out to a teammate. And Dean comes back here to Catford. He's got time, picks out McCready on the left, lifts the eye, but the kick was deflected. Comes back out here and finally cleared for the Greenside. I think it's up the line for the Dogs. Ball comes off hands. Lee's underground handball was smart. Eventually gets out here to Webber. Gives it back here to the athlete and Shell, the astronaut. Long handball into orbit. Goes nowhere. More like Uranus there, Goldie, as it goes close to the boundary line, and Dunn takes it over.
That was about as deliberate as you get.
Boundary throw in. Half forward line for the Dogs. Need to get one from this stoppage at Phil. Got it towards the 60 metre mark. 8 minutes gone, 13-8 Blackwood. Onka's 9 goals 3, 29 points the margin. Shoal nicely down, collected by Mayo. Players you can feel just getting a bit tired here, and it's held up 60 metres out from the Dogs' goal.
So, ball up. Dogs pushing here. They need goals and need plenty of them in a quick hurry to remain in the fight for the premiership. Ball comes to the ground. Well trapped there. Fed out there by Webber. Found the Bilby. Gets a quick kick away in the direction
Catfish.
of the Borges man, the Catfish, and the Ducks of Nan Primary School. And the pass takes the mark on the half-forward flank. He's already kicked a couple in that last term, so they desperately need him to convert here. So, what did he major in that Nan Boards?
Drop punts.
Drop punts. So, yep, A grader as far as it comes to drop punts. So, Vines sets it up. I think it's moved just a little, too slight. So, through for a minor score. So, Onka Valley's first score of the final term. In fact, first score. Second score is a goal. There's a point, goal and a point comes out here taken by Catford. So, James Catford spent last year touring around, also a talented musician. Puts it up the line. Oh, good contest there by Dykesman. The skipper goes to ground with the ball in under him and sport the marking opportunity there of Fanning. So, right in front of Flynn, the cameraman, who brings us such brilliant pictures. There'll be a ball up, Goldie.
10 minutes gone. Final term, Blackwood 13-8. Onka's 9 goals 4. Catford. Nicely worked. Oh, that's still in, isn't it? Okay, well, James O'Leary.
He's the most experienced academy boy in the business.
He knows what he's doing.
He would know. He would know. And trust you're enjoying if you're watching on the big screen down at the Oakbank Racing Club. And must say, I haven't got the text through from Colo. Was going to send us some of those 10 to wonders.
Leonie Wilmhurst says, go the Woods.
Well done to Leonie, the Volunteer of the Year award for the SNFL. In fact, she won the David Shipway medal, I think. So Leonie, one of the tireless workers, and actually back-to-back wins for the Volunteers of the Year, Goldie, because Andy Fraser winning it last year for the Bridgewater Callington Raiders, and Leonie. So well done to you, Leonie. You'd be pretty happy with the awards at the moment. They lead 13-8 to 9-4. Only one goal kick this quarter through Jeffries for Onkers, as the ball locked in there by Mayo and over top Ben McCready, who's been very busy this afternoon. So still virtually in front of the Dreammaker commentary point on the outer wing. Hopton grabs the ball out of ruck, then mungs one forward. Covered the required distance as the coach Anderson's taken the mark, half forward flank. He'll go long. Got Hopton lead, it was Dykes, but that is a very good mark taken by Zachary Kuiper for the Dogs.
11-minute mark. It's, Dogs just literally hanging on here in their defensive 50 area. Where's the ball now? Oh, there it is. Found it near the scoreboard, which reads 13-8 Blackwood. Onka Valley 9-4. Kick outside of defensive 50. The Woods front position there was Spawn, and umpire says I'll have it. So 55 metres out from Blackwood's goal, kicking towards the bowling green end in this final term. Here's the chance for the Dogs from the stoppage. Oh, great tackle from the coach and Anderson. Off goes Milson. Fanning around the action. Dykesman, he's lively, always. Oh, strips, snap. Oh, he's not just lively.
Great goal.
He's a goal kicker.
I tell you what, we have seen some beauties, boys, but that would go down as a real contender for the goal of the year, Michael Borden. Magnificent, just perseverance, and threw it on his boot. And the skipper with his third for the afternoon, Boards.
Yeah, he worked hard to get that ball, and then he just rode the spin well in the tackle, got on the boot at the right time and put it through. Fantastic goal.
Actually, a short change, but it's actually his fourth, so he's counted that opening goal to Jeffries. So the Woodsman, 14-8. Onka Valley, 9-4, coming out to 12 minutes gone, Goldie, and if it's not the sealer, it's close to it.
It's close to it.
Sorry, Boards?
He's had a good day, Dykesman.
Yep.
Yep, no Aish, and he stepped up. One of the many Woods players who have stepped up to kick the goals. As we said, entering the match, Aisha kicked 40, and the next leading goal kicker Pistols was McCready with 15. So, meantime, kick inside 50 by Milton. Target there was Dykesman, and he earns a free kick, so he's going to have a chance to kick number 5.
Yeah, I think it was Noah Bell just infringing over the shoulder in that marking contest. So Dykesman, chance for number 5 is called by Benny Goldfitch. So he'll kick from the formerly the pub with no beer pocket, the cricket net pocket here at Uraidla. So Dykesman will get the distance, I'd suggest. So whether he can get the accuracy, see some good goals kicked from that position. Mayo earlier on. So sets it, allows for the win, but unfortunately has not come back enough. So minor score results, but it's still enough for Blackwood to extend their lead to 14-9-93 to Onka Valley 9-4. So what's that, 45-point lead? 35-point lead. So the Woods in control and seemingly on their way to a preliminary final. And what a game that'll be next week. You can hear it against Harndorf Football Club. Ball comes out here. Here's Milson running out to support Bricknell. Bricknell fumbles, but he got a ton of room to actually steady and chips it across the line and finds a teammate there. I think it's Moore. He'll in turn go back to Bricknell. So just milking the clock down here. So Scotty Bricknell. And no doubt his partner in crime is watching, Kurt Thompson. And of course, unfortunately, that severe knee injury in round 1, I think it was Goldie, forced him into retirement. But for years, those two have ruled the back. It's Bricknell running past. But they decided to go out wide here to young Moses Milson, right in front of the
Milson goes in board, finds Tuck, who's kicked a couple of goals today, I think, or was at least set up quite a few. He's kicked 1, but he's set up a lot. Spawn kicks it to McCready, who's played well in the defensive 50. Baldessera, sorry, not McCready, get it right. Baldessera, kick inside 50 for the Woods. Over the top, and that's big Phil Hopton, who I reckon he's gone back for his first goal today.
Absolutely. And actually, it was funny, lurking behind the pack, there was Dykesman, but as you call Goldie, Big Phil stuck up the Dukes and took a mark. So opportunity for his first goal of the game. He's kicked 8 for the season.
I think they've had 7 or 8 individual goal kickers today, Blackwood, with Dykesman kicking 4, Johnson kicking 3. So Big Phil Hopton looking to enter the scoring book here. And he didn't like that one off the boot. That's a minor score. So 15 minutes gone. Final term of the elimination semi-final. And Blackwood on their way at the moment, appearing to be playing Harndorf in the preliminary final next Saturday. Blackwood 14-10, Onka Valley 9-4.
And the kick out falls short. I think that was Dean with the kicking down, marked by Ryan Anderson, right in front of the Dogs coaching box. And well, I'll tell you what, the Browse, no, the Academy boys said it was touched, obviously. So, I'll tell you what, the Browse will be a bit furrowed over there as the sands of time starting to run out for the Dogs, last year's grand finalists. As Sleep take the ball out of ruck. Oh, gave it to Mayo, sold some candy, gets a kick out towards the Ferrari stand. Lee's, unfortunately, has 2 to beat. One of them being Dunn, who just fisted the ball over the boundary line for a throw-in. So, as Benny Goldfinch suggested, 15.5 minutes gone. Dogs 9-4, trailing at Blackwood at 14-10. So, once again, a throw at Warburton, got it down. He's been good all day. Hacked forward there by River Moore, half forward, streaming out McCready. A good contest by both players. Ball spills to ground. Benson tries to burrow his way through. Well played, Daniel Benson. Second effort there. As ball toe poke forward, looming is McCarthy. Gets the ball out there. Also was Hocking. He's caught up in a tackle applied by Kuiper, I think, in the end. So held up, but still dangerous territory here.
Boards, I'll get to you in a sec. Hang on. Stoppage inside 50 for Blackwood. Just really continuing to mount. Here's a sweeping handball out from Greenslade, out towards the boundary from Bilby. Few words, Boards, that describe Blackwood's performance today.
Benny, they've been ferocious and they've maintained their speed throughout the game. Their running has been excellent, and their use of the ball, they've used it quickly, and they've been using it in a way where it's very hard to turn over, whereas Onkas have let the ball hang in the air for too long and given their opposition too much chance to come through and either intercept or make the spoil.
Quick kick forward there by Catford. Could have been a free kick to his teammate, but no, the ball carried out over the boundary line, so right next to the behind post. The boundary umpire will come in and pitch the ball back in. So deep in Blackwood territory. Hopton doing the ruck work against Fanning. Ball comes down. Greenslade feeds it out. Oh, coughed up there by Dean. Good enough to go back and get a clearing kick, but that's all Woods out there as Spawn takes a defensive mark. It's almost as if they've set up the wall there. Boys, the great wall.
Casey Johnson's saying she's watching from Sale in Victoria.
Well, as we said, Evan from Sale City, North Gippsland. So trust you're enjoying our coverage. You'll be happy as a bouncing ball. Last line defence fumbled. Dogs, well, disguise that as it goes through for a minor score. So, Kathy, trust you're enjoying our coverage.
Yep, absolutely. And as we said, Blackwood, one of the few sides to beat Hahndorf in a final. That was a grand final a couple of years ago. We were there. 2017, they beat Hahndorf to win the the premiership, and they're going to play Hahndorf next week in the prelim final to get into the grand final against Lobethal, and McCarthy is going back for a shot.
This will be second if he nails. He kicked the last goal of the previous quarter, Goldie. So, as you said, outstanding junior prospect.
Really holding his spot now in the A-grade
transfer,
side.
of course, son of the great Nick McCarthy, because his brother out injured at the moment.
Goes bang, nails it, and I reckon that's it.
Well, calling it.
Well, 19 minutes gone now, 15-11 Blackwood, Onka Valley 9 goals 4.
Even, well, we can hear out the side here, the rather well-endowed lady is wearing the opera hat and the plaits has got on top of the tray top truck out here. So, Blackwood seemingly into a preliminary final and just one more win away from a grand final, Goldie.
Yep.
So 15-11, 101 plays 9-4-58. So very good second half by the Blackwood Football Club, that's for sure. So back in the centre, Big Terry Sleep wins the tap down. Is Tuck still working? Was he grabbed? Yes, says umpire Williams. So Tuck, who's been a consistent midfield influence throughout the game, has said went off for a period of time, got that bandaged right leg. Puts it up towards McCarthy.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And trapped the ball very nicely. And he goes out here to Moses Milson. Mo looks for...
Boards is onto it here.
Yeah, well, Mo would like his time. He kicked that kicked that a bit like Curly and Larry.
Oh, that's it. Jaden and Indy, we've got some stats down there, lads. Just want to have a little look at anything in a set. We'll get you set up. Have a look at some stuff. So, boundary throw in, centre wing. Terry Sleep, McCarthy coming through. It's wrapped up in a tackle there by Webber. So 20 minutes gone, 15-11 Blackwood, Onka Valley 9 goals 4.
So the shadows starting to appear across what's been a very pleasant
Catford.
day. Catford just arches the back, feeds the handball out to the coach, gets it back to Johnson. Johnson long, could this be number 4?
Sale City! Oh! Good stuff.
Kath will be loving it. She's probably jumped through the phone. And that's his 4th, and I reckon he's kicked them all in similar circumstances, Michael Borden, just running through and going bang.
Beautiful running goal. Excellent use of the handball by Blackwood to get him out into the open, and then he did the job and finished it. Really nice footy.
I tell you what, there'll be a big time in Sale City tonight as their adopted Blackwood son. Obviously giving them something to cheer about over there, no footy, so why not hop on the Woods when one of their past premiership heroes is playing for Blackwood and perhaps a chance to get another premiership.
Jaden and Indy, got some stats that matter?
Jaden and Indy.
Yeah, so 33 kicks and 12 handballs in this quarter for Blackwood. They just dominated around stoppages, and just their run has been too good all game, and 10 tackles as well. Indy?
19 kicks, 12 handballs, 11 tackles, 9 marks. They've clearly eased off in this quarter, to say the least.
I'll tell you what, it's Johnson again. This is almost a replay.
Big Phil.
Got his hands up. No, forced over the line, but undecision here. What is it?
Well, we're going to have to go upstairs.
Well, they're going to go
Boards.
upstairs here.
Yep, score
as
review.
Dennis Raymond's come in. Bit of pressure there for the goal umpire, but he's signified a point. Almost Johnson.
Sorry, Indy. You want to Indy? Anything else?
Yeah, just wanted to clearly touch only one centre clearance, so their midfield velocity needed to improve in this quarter, but it clearly has not.
Benson with an attempt.
Anything else, Jaden?
Inside
there
50s?
could be got inside 50s?
Inside 50s, yeah. So 12 inside 50s there for Blackwood, and there could be a record stat here, boys, as well.
Coming up.
We love it.
Indy, got any stats for Onka's inside 50s?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention inside 50s. There's only been 3 in this entire quarter.
So ball thrown in, cricket net to pocket. Hopton doing the ruck work, stolen out there, handball shot out. Greenside got it to Coursera up the line. Rivermore looms, getting his hand to it was Jimmy Hopton. Oh, great attack on the border by Catford. Ball comes out here to Shell. He's dispossessed by Dunn. Bouncing ball. Benson with his body over the ball. And finally going to ground level. Good tackle applied there by Mayo on Catford. So 23 minutes just ticked over. Probably see the scoreboard in the background. 16-12 Blackwood into a preliminary final. Onka Valley 9-4.
So here's a chance for Spawn. The ball just popped out of the pack and he's got a chance now from outside 50. Don't know if he'll have the journey here. Well, he's potentially backing himself in here. So let's have a look. He'll go bang from 55. Well, a bit of a wedge shot right to the line. Hopton, over the top. Couple of dogs there through for a minor score.
George Dent into orbit, shell style, but through for a minor score is called there, Goldie. So, taken here by Quasira. Switches ball across the opposite flank, finds Cornish. Jagman kicks it up towards the wing area. Lurking there, good defensive ball by Baldasira. Comes to ground. Vines fed it out there.
Anderson,
Stolen
off he
by
goes.
the coach Anderson. Handballs over the top to
Oh,
Hopton.
the old 1-2.
He'll get back to the coach. The coach has got a loose man in McCready. He spotted him up, puts it there. The cavalry arrive. I stand his ground. Well done there by Kuiper. Gets a clearing kick. Wobber got his hand to it. Grabbed here by Moore. River Moore. The big leap by Fanning. Missed the ball completely. Taken there by Cox. Goes backwards to a teammate. Finally, the Dogs get out of trouble across here. Dean's the target, but he's missed and... missed him and bounces over the boundary line. Just around from the Blackwood contingent, and they'd be pretty happy. And once again, the hoodoo has been broken, Goldie. The Dreammaker's got another win for
We've
them.
called 3 Blackwood wins in the last couple of weeks, so there we go. So boundary throw in inside 50 for the Woods. Hopton wins it down. Mo is getting plenty of touches in this term. Sweeping handball out the back.
Jimmy Hopton.
Hopton involved.
More.
Here we go.
Back to Mo.
Mo again.
Jay Hopton.
Hopton kick inside 50. Is Phil lurking?
Oh,
McCready is. There we go. Ben McCready took an absolute ripper last week.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And
what's he going for now?
Yet to get on the board, Goldie. So he's first. He's, as you said, he's handed out a few. Tuck style.
Yeah, tuck style. 25 minutes gone. The Woods.
This could be the nail, Goldie.
Storming into a prelim against Harndorf. They go to 17 goals 13. Onka Valley stuck on 9 goals 4. So it's now 57 points the margin, Boards.
You hear the trumpet in the background there, Boards. Probably the last post.
Yeah, it's junk time now. I think Blackwood have certainly got this wrapped up. And, you know, Onkas, unfortunately for them, they had a real crack at it, but Blackwood have just been too good.
And just injuries at the wrong stage. Damien Green pulling out also Goldie today. So,
Timmy Jenkin, of course, the tractor yesterday for Lobethal, just wanting to know where Joel Aish is. Well, he appears to be injured since the first couple of minutes of the match. So he's on the sidelines, hasn't returned, along with Isaac McCormack, who's injured at the moment.
And the tractor, trust you're feeling well. Tractor, after a good effort yesterday, no doubt the Tigers, a little bit of celebratory last night, but no doubt that the lid's back on it and getting ready for their first grand final since 2002. So Webber out here to Cornish, out on his own in the wing area right in front of the commentary spot. He has Anderson closes. Cornish chips it up the line. The Shell got his hands to it. Ball spills to the ground. In the meantime, I think he's paid being tunnelled as in basketball style by Catford. So Shell, the astronaut, will take the resulting free kick here in the wing area. So Shell had a pretty good season. Disappointed that he won't be advancing anymore. As the ball comes off hands, taken by Greenside. Had a quick look. Oh, great work there by Baldasira. Backs up well. Blackwood defence still fighting hard, even though they've unassailable lead here. And there it is. Blackwood 17-13, 115 have defeated Onka Valley 9 goals 4. As our man Goldie will be wandering out there to find one of the successful players. So good win there. As I said, 115 plays 58. So just all good round performance. Onka Valley led by 7 points at quarter time, and Blackwood hit back 21 points at half time. Then it led 13-8 to 8-3 at 3/4 time, and just finished off the job nicely. 17-13, 1-1-5. Onka Valley 9-4, 58. So a bit of disappointment as Goldie's lurking as the boys just shaking hands. So he will have an interview for us shortly. So trust you've enjoyed our coverage of today's game, but Blackwood just too strong in the end, and as we said, they march on to the preliminary final playing Harndorf. And a few weeks ago, who would have thought that would happen? But as we know, footy's a funny game, so two great rivals in recent times will square off for the right to play Loberthal Tigers in the grand final. And of course, you'll have all that action for you on Hills Footy Media. Of course, the preliminary final and grand final both been played at the Chunga Oval, which we'll get to Michael Borden shortly to give his thoughts on that, because he knows the Chunga Oval pretty well. Looks like Goldie has snared an interview with a man who'll be a pretty happy coach in Ryan Anderson. As just bringing up, so Anderson, his second win as a coach in a final. Of course, coached him into a losing elimination final last year, so he's won this year's elimination and the first semi-final. So Goldie, we're already with Goldie, so we'll go out to Benny Goldfinch.
Yep, joined out here by Ryan Anderson, coach. Entered the last match needing to beat Mount Barker, and now you're into a prelim final against Harndorf and a real shot.
Yeah, we definitely did it the hard way. We dropped a couple of games that we were pretty disappointed about, but that's Hills quality competition. You've got to be switched on every single week. But we give ourselves a chance. We get into a prelim. Anything can happen. So, yeah.
Well, H goes early in the match. I think he kicked 40 for the season. Next leading goal kicker was McCready with 15, but you had a lot of contributors today. Dykesman kicking 4, Johnson kicking 4, and just everyone stepped up.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we've just got, good depth in our squad. The boys play enjoyable footy. They like to kick goals, as everyone does, but they're just good young kids that are enjoying their footy at the moment, yeah.
And a ferocious performance all around from the lads.
It was. It's pleasing, like you said, we did it the hard way. Onka's really showed that we had to come switched on, and yeah, we did a good job.
All the best for the prelim.
Mate, can I just quickly say, old man's watching in Melbourne in lockdown, so thanks, Russ.
Yeah, we got them, his parents as well, so yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks there to Benny Goldfinch, and well done to Ryan Anderson. And yes, parents, as he said, in Melbourne, they'd be pretty happy with that result. Their son leading Blackwood within one win of playing off in the grand final. Of course, Ryan, no stranger to grand finals, but as a playing coach, it may well be his first one. But as I said, other things on his mind. Before that, he's got to get over the top of Harndorf. Wounded Harndorf lost their first game in 43 outings after 43 wins yesterday. So Blackwood to take on Harndorf in the Call of the Wild next Saturday afternoon, the preliminary final, which will be at the old stamping ground of our special guest on the sidelines this afternoon, Michael Borden. Boards, just a little bit of a summary of a very good performance by the Blackwood Football Club.
Yeah, Pistol, really impressed by Blackwood. I mean, Dykesman and Johnson up forward were instrumental, kicking 4 goals each, especially with their main man Aish going down, and also Tuck, Anderson, Catford, Spawn, Benson. They just ran hard all day on ball, and they were able to maintain their speed right to the end. And I think their ability to do that after half time really tore Onkas to shreds. And the big fella Warbert in the ruck, I thought he was tiring about halfway through the second quarter, but he just put his body on body, and he just kept giving his boys first use of the ball. So really impressed by his effort as well. But their work rate, the efficiency with their hands, and like I said, their ability to maintain speed and continue to run hard and surround the contest was what allowed them to break away. And for Onkas, I thought Mayo was outstanding with the opportunities he had. Unfortunately for him, they couldn't get the ball to him more often because he was very dangerous every time the ball went to him. I thought Vines worked hard all day. He was creative. Kuiper, excellent coming out of the back line. Johnny Greenslade, of course, when he had his hands on the ball, everything he did was very good. And I thought, Jeffries, especially early, he was very hard to get past. And Shell, he worked, the big fella worked hard all day as well. He did some work forward, he did some work on ball. But Blackwood just too good. But I thought both teams had a real crack at it. I thought the competitiveness was great, and it was a real tight game till about halfway through the third quarter. Then Blackwood were able to break away with it. So you'd think with their smalls who run hard, who are competitive, they've got a bit of anger about them with the way they play and they tackle hard. So you'd think if good weather on a fast track this week, they'll give themselves every chance to take it right up to Harndorf this week. And Also, need to mention the umpires. I thought the umpiring was excellent today. I thought Denzo Raymond and his team really umpired the game well, showed a good feel for the game, and they didn't get in the way. They certainly made sure that it was a good game of footy for us to watch.
Thank you very much to Michael Borden, and for the last time we'll go down and find where the game was won and lost. I suggest Blackwood would have a pretty comprehensive lead in all the stats. So for the last time today, as I said, Jaden J and the 500-man Indy.
Cheers, thanks Pistols. So yeah, 173 kicks, 115 handballs, 79 tackles and 50 marks. To round out the stats for Blackwood today, they were just too good, like Board said. Their run off halfback was really good. Scott Brignall was really good as well. Just his setup, to keep the ball inside 50 for Blackwood is really good. And yeah, just too good today. 58 inside 50s in total. They, like I said, just locked the ball inside 50, way too good. We did question if they were going to bring the momentum from last week into this week, and they certainly did. And just wasn't sure if Onkas could run over them in the last quarter, but unfortunately they couldn't for them. So it was really good game of football for Blackwood, and 27 hit-outs as well to round out those stats. So just too good today. Indy?
So at full time, Onkas maintained some pretty healthy stats in the basic statistical area. 146 kicks, 77 handballs, 80 tackles, 62 marks. None of those sound too bad, but really what they lost most of all was ferocity, and that's not just down to tackling pressure because they had 80. It was really their work in the contest. Their inability to take contested marks for the game really did hurt them. Only 8 contested marks for the game, 9 marks inside 50, and those really hurt their chances of making the most of those big opportunities from when the play started to get a little bit congested. I feel like Blackwood's pressure was just a little bit more efficient. Their tackles seemed to stick a little bit more, and when they got the ball, they rebounded and countered really, really well. Unfortunately for Onkas, their season has ended pretty much on the back of their inability to take those marks and secure the dominance in the air. Tim Webber, he had 10 disposals in the first quarter and then 23 for the game, so in 3 quarters of football, only 13 disposals. It's obviously not awful. He's been a great asset to the Onkas midfield all year, but clearly that wasn't enough to break the glass open today. So yeah, they'll be reviewing this year, probably in a little bit of regret to not have those targets to hit up forward, but even those key position players in the defense, they could do a better job at maybe stopping the pack work from unfolding in such a harsh manner that would allow the opposition to run off with free goals. But lots of lessons to learn, and more importantly, it's going to have to maintain that quality going into next year as well. But back to you, Jaden.
And also, yeah, just got some quick record stats. That's right.
We've been waiting with expectation. You told us it's 3/4 time here, Jordan. We want to hear the record stat you're going to give us. So
the record...
The stage is yours.
Oh, thank you. Cheers. So the record stat is this is Blackwood's highest ever winning margin since 2010 in a final. So that's the stat there for you boys. And it's Onka's always highest losing margin in a game since the qualifying final against Harndorf. So that was a good stat there for Onkas. It's also the highest margin that Onkas have beaten, Blackwood have beaten Onkas by since 2014 as well, and it's the third equal highest margin that Blackwood have beaten them by too. And also since 2015 have we seen that the team that won in the elimination to go to the grand final, and that was Harndorf. So see if Blackwood can do that. And the last time that Blackwood beat Harndorf was in the 2017 grand final as well. So there's some leading stats for next week, and should be good game of footy. So there's the record stats for your Pistols.
Thank you very much to Jaden and Indy for their efforts this afternoon. So there you have it, boards. I told you the boys bring all the stats. You would have been impressed that they've just taken that next step up since last time you were with us.
I thought they were outstanding, Jaden and Indy. Good job, boys.
They get the
really
votes.
Nice
They're
job.
in the votes.
They got the votes. They were great. Umpires were great. Fantastic game of footy. You and Benny might have gone backwards a bit. I'm just not sure if you've improved as much as you should have this year, but everyone else was spot on.
I tell you what, it'd be lovely if we could maybe, I know you have other commitments, get you a bit later in the final. You never know, your man Dylan Madsen might be out at the Adonis.
I think you'll find Dill will just cruise around and get a fair bit of the footy and be looking good while he's doing it, Pistol.
Someone said he knows that you might be calling, so he's ordered the extra baby oil in to just oil himself up for you, Boards.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he'll get the job done.
All right, mate. Hey, look, thank you very much. It's great to have you on board as you do every year. You just swing in off the bench. I know there's big shoes to fill, our man Shane Collins, but you've done it admirably. And thanks for your input this afternoon, mate. And hopefully we'll see you over the final series before the end of the season.
Thanks a lot for having me.
Good on you, Michael Borden. As I said, filling in this afternoon for Shane Collins. Well, Goldie, what can you take out of that?
Out of that, I can take out that Blackwood are playing Hahndorf next Saturday.
Yeah, and Onka's heading for the mothball shop.
And that's going to be at a Chunga Oval, which is looking really good. Big deck.
Unfortunately, our man Shane, of course, couldn't be here to racing commitments, but he'd be a bit disappointed, but I reckon he'd be pretty happy because as the consultant, the B's got up by a 1 point margin.
Yep. So they're into the prelim, no doubt about that one.
And they play Hahndorf. Hahndorf having both teams playing the preliminary final day.
That's it. So, and do we know who's in country? Is that confirmed?
We haven't got the homing pigeon hasn't arrived, but at the last score it was a pretty comprehensive lead to Birdwood at this stage, so we can't confirm it, but the Roosters were leading at 3/4 time. Goldie.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately, the smoke signals haven't come in from the velodrome. I'll just check again, but no, our correspondents let us down. But
let him down. He's probably getting photos at the moment.
He probably is, yes. Joshy Teagle, good man. All right, well, thank you once again, Benny, for your assignment. And of course, you'll be reporting online next week because you'll be out at the big deck chair in the country. So yeah,
I'll get a deck chair out there at Kersbrook.
At the Kersbrook, now you know how to get out there.
I'll pretend that the van's there. I'll just call it to myself.
Well, why not? Yeah. Practice makes perfect for the following week. So, thank you very much there to Benny Goldfinch. And, of course, we've got to thank, the big crew here this afternoon. What's been a pretty good semi-final. Of course, Jaden J and Indy, thank you very much for your work. To Flynn, the cameraman, fantastic. Michael Borden for joining us. And, of course, the man who makes it all, the man who pushes all the right buttons, so to speak, Dallas for Dartfish. So thank you very much for his input. And, as I said, next week, Call of the Wild goes preliminary final day, a Chunga Oval. Hahndorf taking on Blackwood, looking very much forward to that. And of course, during the week, don't forget to catch Hills Footy Unplugged, a special country division grand final theme. We'll have a couple of people along from the respective clubs, Iron Bank and a Bird just to chew the fat on the biggest game of the season in the country division. So, just a few late comments. Oh. Sorry, mate. Yep.
A few late comments coming in here. We confirmed Timmy Jenkins. Yep, Joel Aish was injured. Leonie Wilmshurst was enjoyed that. Well done, Blackwood. Leanne Petherick. Guy Milson says Mo Milson killed it. First game since 2018.
Wow, well
and
done,
he
Mo.
said good boy.
Yeah, very good boy. Good boy. Good boy.
Good
well
stuff.
Done.
We like that.
Good done. Good on you, Goldie. Thank you very much. And thank you for tuning in and taking their worldwide calls. Trust you enjoyed it. So, as said, Hills Footy Unplugged during the week. Get on that on the internet and follow that. But I said plenty coming your way on Hills Footy Media. The season enters the last 2 weeks. 3 teams survive. So we'll bring you all the action to see who eventually takes out the 2020. It's been a different season, but see who takes out the premiership crown. So until next time we catch you on Hills Footy Media, this is Pistols on behalf of the team wishing you all the best. Keep on chasing your goals, and we will catch you next time.